This is Nationwide 90 FM, owned and operated by Nationwide News Network Limited. We broadcast from our studios at 14 Ocean Boulevard in the Digicel Center, downtown Kingston, Jamaica. Transmitting on the FM 90 band, 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne. Serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester, transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew and parts of St. Thomas. And 90.7 from Cooper's Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James. Serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcasts on YouTube at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2, RevoNews.ai and on Flow on channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock.
From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning.
A very good morning to you. I'm Tawna Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning, Wednesday, November 19, 2025. Reggae Boys miss out on chance to secure automatic qualification to 2026 World Cup. JPS pauses disconnections as company rolls out temporary customer relief measures. BOJ gives indication that the country's financial sector will be able to absorb the negative impact of Hurricane Melissa. In regional news, TNT bans parties at major event venues, sets curfew and noise controls. In international news, 10 killed and 40 wounded in heavy Russian attack on Ukraine. In sports, head coach Steve McLaren resigns as Jamaica fails to book automatic World Cup spot. And in business, Pan Jamaica Group announces $2 billion net profit. The details after the break.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Catch the first news of the day. A comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Jamaica will have to qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup through the side door. This after only managing a draw in a must-win clash with Curaçao in their final group stage game on Tuesday night inside the National Stadium in Kingston. In front of the biggest crowd assembled at the venue in decades, 35,000 plus, according to the stadium announcer. The Reggae Boys struck the woodwork 3 times and had a penalty decision overturned by VAR over 90 plus frustrating minutes. Prime Minister Andrew Holness, Opposition Leader Mark Golding, and CONCACAF boss Victor Montagliani were present to witness the boys have failed to secure automatic qualification to football's showpiece event. On the other hand, the tiny nation of Curaçao, which boasts a population of about 160,000, almost equal to the number of people who live in St. Elizabeth, created history on the night. They became the smallest country by population to reach the World Cup finals on the back of an outstanding showing where they were the only unbeaten team throughout the qualifying stage in CONCACAF. The show is not over for the Reggae Boys, though. They will proceed to a 16 playoff, which includes Suriname, Bolivia, New Caledonia, Democratic Republic of Congo, and Iraq. The tournament will be played in March 2026, and the top 2 teams will qualify for the FIFA World Cup. The Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS, has rolled out a temporary customer relief program as the country rebounds from the impact of Hurricane Melissa. JPS's Corporate Communications Officer, Darian Reed, says under the initiative, the company will suspend service disconnections and waive all late payment fees until December 15.
JPS understands how deeply Hurricane Melissa has impacted families across the island. Even for customers who weren't directly hit, many of them have relatives, friends, co-workers who were severely impacted, and a lot of those funds set aside for bills are now being used to help other people recover. We understand this, and to support our customers, JPS has suspended all service disconnections and late payment fees for residential customers until December 15, and for customers who may need more time, they can get access to special payment plans.
Darian Reed, JPS's Corporate Communications Officer. The utility company notes that bills now being issued reflect electricity usage recorded mostly before the passage of Hurricane Melissa. According to JPS, power has been restored to about 70% of customers as the crews continue island-wide restoration efforts. Meanwhile, the Energy Minister Darrell Vaz has welcomed the move, praising what he calls JPS's compassionate approach to affected households. In a post on X, Minister Vaz says the new program improves on the relief measures offered after Hurricane Beryl in 2024. He adds that while this is a strong first step, he expects the relief to be extended to commercial customers, especially those in the western parishes. The minister says he anticipates receiving the detailed restoration schedule promised by JPS management later this week. President of the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB, Ilan Golfan, says some of its donations to Jamaica could be available in a matter of days. Golfan was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday.
So, for example, the immediate one, the one on the emergency, could be days. The CCF, which is the credit contingent, could be week or two. That's already being requested by the government. I was with the minister, with the prime minister, and that has been requested. So this is going to be very, very fast. The recovery, the financing for the sectors, that will need us to work on a plan. So the resources that grants will provide plan, a program, a project. Then it will take a little longer for the recovery.
According to a post on his social media pages, Golfan says the IDB's proposed package includes $1.26 billion in financing and $4.7 million in grants. The funds are directed towards key areas such as health, housing, energy, and water. Golfan was among a group of leaders who participated in a tour of Jamaica's worst affected areas following the passage of Hurricane Melissa on Monday. He says that the IDB has acknowledged that the Caribbean region is susceptible to disasters based on multiple factors.
The Caribbean countries are especially vulnerable to natural disasters. We cannot ignore that the natural disasters and the new situation, global situation, is affecting more some countries than others. If you are an island, a country island, in the Caribbean, you are more vulnerable to that. And therefore, banks like us, development banks, should have a special treatment in these cases. We have arranged a program called One Caribbean. So when I heard that they were going to the visit, to the tour, a bank like us has to be part of it.
Ilan Golfan, president of the IDB. Meanwhile, the IDB president says outside of humanitarian aid provisions, resilient rebuilding efforts must take place in order to withstand future disasters.
Well, we need to provide not only the impact, immediate impact and the humanitarian aid, but also very important, how we're going to make the recovery a sustainable recovery, build things in a resilient way. So we are thinking about areas that we can help. Can we rebuild the hospitals in a very strong way? Can we rebuild the power grid in a way that will be sustained for long and be resilient to the next natural disaster? Can we look at housing and make the housing stronger for the future?
Ilan Golfan, president of the IDB, he was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday. Guyana has pledged to provide resources to rebuild 200 roofs which were severely damaged during the passage of Hurricane Melissa. The country's president, Dr. Irfan Ali, made the pledge during a tour along with several CARICOM leaders in Western Jamaica on Monday. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness led the high-level delegation of over 20 Caribbean leaders and government officials. The convoy met at the Montego Bay Convention Center in St. James and ended the tour in White House, Westmoreland. Dr. Ali says Guyana will mobilize both materials and manpower to begin repairing damaged roofs. He says the effort will be led by the Jamaica Defense Force with assistance from the Guyana Defense Force. President Ali announced plans for a weekend shipment of additional relief materials. These include food, tarpaulins, building materials, and black tanks. Dr. Ali says the shipment is to bolster Jamaica's capacity to shelter and house residents affected by the hurricane. He notes that it's important to restore shelter before the Christmas holidays. Now, the Bank of Jamaica, BOJ, says the country's financial sector will be able to absorb the negative impact of Hurricane Melissa and support the expected growth in demand for cash as recovery efforts continue. The BOJ says its assessment follows a meeting of its Financial Policy Committee on November 17. The BOJ says the committee reviewed the financial system's performance and systemic risks based on data up to September this year. It noted that the domestic financial system had been stable during the September 2025 quarter. Key contributing factors included real GDP growth, low inflation, and a general easing of monetary policy globally. But the BOJ notes that the passage of Hurricane Melissa may affect that stability. It says in addition to key sectors directly impacted by Melissa, affected households are expected to experience weakened debt servicing capacity. This, it says, could potentially lead to an uptick in non-performing loans. Despite the negative impact on credit quality, the bank states that the deposit-taking sector remains well positioned to absorb this deterioration. The BOJ says it anticipates the overall impact on the economy will be mitigated by financial transfers and gifts in kind from several jurisdictions and agencies to aid the recovery and rehabilitation process. This in addition to the government's disaster risk financing framework. The preliminary results indicate that respective financial system subsectors possess sufficient capital and liquidity to absorb the negative impact of Hurricane Melissa. According to the bank, financial institutions are well positioned to support the recovery effort. This includes the currency supply, processing of verified insurance-related payments, and, where appropriate, offering temporary deferral of credit-related facilities. The BOJ says it stands ready to maintain orderly conditions in the foreign exchange market. It's also ready to provide the necessary liquidity support to deposit-taking institutions should the need arise. Murder-accused Andre Ruddock is set to stand trial on January 7, 2026. Ruddock is facing a murder charge after allegedly cutting the throat of a woman during a church ritual at the Pathways International Kingdom Restoration Ministries 4 years ago. Eyewitnesses allege Ruddock used a knife to slash the throat of a fellow church member, Tanika Gardner. Controversial cult pastor Kevin Smith reportedly presided over the bizarre ritual. The series of events unfolded on Sunday, October 17, 2021. Ruddock allegedly confessed to the murder in a caution statement to the police. The trial was previously set to begin on October 22 this year. Ruddock, who walked into the Supreme Court on Tuesday for a case management hearing, was remanded in custody until the new trial date. The Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, says it is bolstering efforts to protect local farming communities in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. The JCF says its Agricultural Protection Branch, APB, has increased patrols in 5 policing areas as the country approaches the Yuletide season. Commanding officer for the APB, Senior Superintendent Oral Pasco, says these patrols have been intensified at night. The JCF says the branch's work is crucial as the country's agricultural sector begins rebuilding following the passage of Hurricane Melissa. It says the efforts to curb predial larceny and protect agricultural assets directly contribute to food security and the economic stability of rural communities. The JCF is encouraging members of the public to purchase meat, fish, and poultry from credible sources in the interest of public health. It says the appeal comes due to the practice of livestock not fit for consumption being sold to citizens. The JCF notes that by combating the illicit trade of livestock, it ensures that consumers are not exposed to potentially unsafe or unregulated food products. The policeman in charge of the Ramble Police Station in Hanover, Sergeant Gary Bradford, has praised both his staff and community members for ongoing rebuilding efforts at the facility. The roof of the station was significantly damaged by Hurricane Melissa.
Telling you, this community, we have one of the best citizen assistant development here. All the community members within this space affected somewhere or the other, and they will, if I help out, I'm so proud to have these members of staff. If I don't do anything, I would feel left out. And as such, you will find me out there climbing ladders, nailing down zinc. They're there. They assist greatly. So I'm so thankful. The community members, we have our community members, the Ramble Development Committee. Excellent.
Ramble is a small community situated in the southeast section of Hanover and borders Westmoreland and St. James. Sergeant Bradford says that there are law enforcers who are yet to visit their homes since Melissa's passage.
We have to be putting our documents in plastic bag, moving from one room to another room when the water starts coming from all angles. We had no electricity. We had no water. We have no form of communication then. So we were literally in the dark. And we still have to assist members of the public. They have members who have not gone home. They made communication with their home. See, that's fine. But we are here, we clean up. We have members who are training here, who has to be here. We have to make it difficult for them.
Sergeant Gary Bradford, officer in charge of the Ramble Police Station in Hanover. National Water Commission, NWC, says its Santa Cruz commercial office in St. Elizabeth is now open following the passage of Hurricane Melissa. This, it says, will allow for customers to conduct regular transactions, submit service requests, and make inquiries directly with NWC representatives. NWC says the Lucy commercial office in Hanover and Savlamar commercial office in Westmoreland remain closed. It is reminding customers that they can also contact the Commission through web chat via their website, nwcjamaica.com, or by email at customercare@nwc.com.jm and via the NWC mobile app. In addition, customers may connect with the NWC via their social media pages. Tax Administration Jamaica TAJ says the Montego Bay Revenue Service Center and some of its satellite offices remain closed as repair work continues following the passage of Hurricane Melissa. TAJ says a video titled "A Public Service Announcement," dated Monday, November 17, has been circulating on social media regarding services being offered at the center. In a release on Tuesday, TAJ notes this is an old video that was recorded for another activity. It also sought to highlight other Western offices which remain closed. These include the tax offices in Darlaston, Falmouth, Jacksontown, Lucy, and Savlamar. Customers in these areas are being advised to visit the St. Anne's Bay, Moneague, and Brownstown tax offices to conduct business. TAJ is encouraging customers to exercise caution when conducting their business. It's also reminding customers that official updates on the reopening schedule and payment methods are issued only through TAJ's verified communication channels. And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:20.
SCL Jamaica Limited is having a big blowout sale. Up to 70% off on Milwaukee tools. From power drills to saws, their top-notch Milwaukee tools will handle any project with ease. Hurry to SCL Jamaica Limited at Block L, Sagicor Industrial Center, 7 Norman Road, or call 876-938-1397 for more details. Sale runs November 10 to 28. Terms and conditions apply. Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty.
In regional and international news this morning, regional news, Prime Minister Kamla Prasad-Bissessar has expanded her government's clampdown on noise pollution, ordering an immediate halt to fetes at Hazy Crawford Stadium and John Pierre Complex. The ban does not include the defined carnival window in Trinidad and Tobago. In a post on her official social media accounts, Prasad-Bissessar said she instructed the Attorney General and the Minister of Sport to impose the restriction. She says all fetes and parties at Ministry of Sport facilities must now begin no earlier than 12 p.m. and end at 10 p.m. In addition, the National Carnival Commission has been directed to hire acoustic engineers to redesign sound systems to minimize noise and vibrations for nearby communities. The announcement follows last week's decision to stop all fetes at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, a venue that has hosted some of the country's largest carnival events. International, 10 people were killed in a heavy overnight Russian missile and drone attack that struck a residential tower block in western Ukraine. Another 40 people, including 12 children, were wounded. The overnight strikes targeted energy and transport infrastructure, forcing emergency power cuts in a number of regions and frigid temperatures. Ukrainian officials say Russia launched more than 400 drones and 45 missiles in the attack. Poland, a NATO member state bordering western Ukraine, temporarily closed airports in the southeast of the country and scrambled Polish and Allied aircraft as a precaution to safeguard its airspace. President Volodymyr Zelensky has urged allies to increase pressure on Russia to end its nearly 4-year-old war in Ukraine, including by providing Kyiv with more air defense missiles. And that's it for regional and international. Up next, sports. This is a public service announcement from JPS. JPS is urging customers not to pay anyone to have their electricity service reconnected. Customers are reminded that unauthorized reconnections can be extremely dangerous and can result in serious injury, electrocution, or damage to property. This practice is unethical, illegal, and could delay restoration efforts. If anyone claiming to represent JPS requests payment for reconnection services, report it immediately to the nearest police station or JPS. JPS thanks all customers for their patience as teams continue working to restore power safely and as quickly as possible. That was a public service announcement from JPS.
SCL Jamaica Limited is having a big blowout sale. Up to 70% off on Milwaukee tools. From power drills to saws, their top-notch Milwaukee tools will handle any project with ease. Hurry to SCL Jamaica Limited at Block L, Sagicor Industrial Center, 7 Norman Road, or call 876-938-1397 for more details. Sale runs November 10 to 28. Terms and conditions apply. Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty.
Time now for your morning sports. Mere minutes after the Reggae Boys had their hopes to book automatic qualification to the FIFA World Cup dashed at the National Stadium Tuesday night, Steve McLaren tendered his resignation as head coach of the team. The game ended 0-0 with Curacao. McLaren first told President of the JFF, Michael Ricketts, about his decision, then confirmed it when he appeared at the post-game press conference.
It is the responsibility of the leader, myself, to step forward, take accountability and make decisions in the best interest of the team for them to go forward. After deep reflection and an honest assessment of where we are and where we need to go, I have decided to step down as the head coach of the Jamaican national team.
Ricketts says the Federation will appoint a replacement ahead of the team's participation in the Interconfederation playoff in Mexico next March for a second shot at qualifying for the World Cup.
We will put things together. We'll, of course, have an emergency meeting with technical department and the technical staff, and then we will put an interim coach in place. And like I said, we try and reorganize for the second qualification.
Now, McLaren was in charge of 23 games for Jamaica since taking over in July 2024, winning 11, drawing 6 and losing 4. Jamaica went into Tuesday's game needing a win to book only their second ever appearance at football's showpiece. But despite coming close on a number of occasions, the team just could not breach the defense of Curacao, who now become the smallest team ever to qualify for the World Cup. Jamaica finished second with 11 points, while Curacao ended with 12 points and joined Haiti and Panama in the World Cup. New Zealand beat the West Indies by 5 wickets in Napier just under 2 hours ago to take a winning 2-0 lead in their 3-match one-day international series. In a game reduced to 34 overs aside due to rain, the Windies led by a sizzling unbeaten 109 from skipper Shai Hope and made it 247 for 9. Hope was scoring 19th one-day ton. In total, he faced 69 balls and hit 13 fours and 4 sixes. Nathan Smith, 4 for 42, and Kyle Jamieson, 3 for 44, took most wickets for New Zealand. The hosts then reached their winning target of 248 for 5, with 3 balls to spare. Devon Conway, 90, and Rashin Ravindra, 56, set up the victory with a century opening stand of 106. 5 different bowlers got the wickets for West Indies, who play for Pride in the third and final game on Friday. Finally, in your morning sports, an elite women's referee says there was a fear of raising grievances with the Professional Game Match Officials Limited PG Mall because of the consequences it would have on careers. Lisa Ben had told an employment tribunal in London on Monday that Steve Child, a PG Mall coach and former Premier League assistant referee, had forcefully pushed her. PG Mall, the organization responsible for managing and training professional football referees and match officials in England, investigated the complaint but found Child's behavior did not meet the threshold for disciplinary action. But once Ben raised a complaint, she said the organization did not recommend her as highly as it had done in the past, costing her a place at FIFA's or on FIFA's international referee list. Speaking at the tribunal on Tuesday, the 34-year-old also alleged she and fellow colleagues did not flag issues because they were worried about losing their contracts. And that's it for your morning sports.
where you get the money transfer. Alliance. Where you get the money transfer. Alliance. Where you get the money transfer. Money move like a bird, like a plane, it's a blur. Money quick, money fast, money reach in a flash. This your agent no run out of cash. Pay the rent, pay the bills or buy the grocery. Make a call for the cash and pay the school fee.
Money when and where you need it. Alliance MoneyGram and Ria Money Transfer. Convenient locations island-wide. A member of Sagicor Group Jamaica.
Tell me where you get the money transfer. Alliance.
In business this morning, Pan Jamaica Group Limited has recorded consolidated net profits of just over $2 billion for the quarter. This represents an 83% increase over the same period last year. The group says it was driven by revenues of nearly $12 billion, up 20% year over year. Pan Jamaica announced the results in its unaudited financial results for the third quarter ended September 30, 2025. It says a profit attributable to shareholders rose 121% to $1.7 billion. Vice Chairman and CEO of Pan Jamaica Group, Jeffrey Hall, says the quarter's results demonstrate the strength of its business portfolio across key industries and markets. Pan Jamaica says the specialty foods division remain the group's largest revenue contributor, with $18.3 billion in revenues for the 9-month period ended September 30, up 9% year over year. Profit before finance cost and taxation stood at $581 million, an increase of 102%. It says the growth was driven primarily by the Juicy Group, which recorded strong spring and summer sales across its European sites. Meanwhile, Pan Jamaica says the Juicy Group has strengthened its footprint in the Scandinavian premium juice market. During the quarter, the subsidiary group acquired 64% of the shares in Frankly Juice, a leading manufacturer based in Denmark, known for its high-quality organic cold-pressed juices. It says the acquisition significantly strengthens the Juicy Group's presence in the strategically valuable Scandinavian market and supports its mission to offer premium, convenient, and healthy juices across Europe. Pan Jamaica says the acquisition is a significant positive development for its specialty foods division, which already has juice manufacturing sites in Spain, Belgium, and the Netherlands. Finally, in foreign exchange trading, the Jamaican dollar has lost 28 cents and will open trading against the benchmark US dollar, selling for an average $161.96. Against the Canadian, the Jamaican has gained 25 cents and will open selling for an average $115.41. And finally, the Jamaican dollar has gained 18 cents and will begin trading for an average $212.17 against the British pound. That's it for business this morning.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:33.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
This is an important announcement for general accident customers in Western Jamaica regarding Hurricane Melissa claims. GenAC's Montego Bay office at Unit 8, Summit Business Center, Fairview, will be open Saturday, November 15 from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and throughout the week from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. to help customers. For faster claims processing, customers can submit their claims online at genac.com. If your motor vehicle or property has been affected, download the catastrophe claim forms from the website and submit a detailed report to catastropheclaims@genac.com. General accident is here to help Jamaica rise again. That was an important announcement for general accident customers in Western Jamaica regarding Hurricane Melissa claims.
My bones, it goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up, no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off it, moving so phenomenally. Come on, like the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights, when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine, just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on, all those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling, so just dance, dance, dance. I can't stop the feeling, so just dance, dance, dance. Come on. Ooh, it's something magical. It's in the air, it's in my blood, it's rushing on. I don't need no reason, don't need control. I fly so high, no ceiling when I'm in my zone. Cause I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off it. Give me freedom, give me fire, give me reason
Hello, back.
to take me higher.
Well, I'm going to set up in the morning this morning. I don't want to hear that song. Play something else, King. I'm begging. Play something else. I don't want to hear that song. I don't want to hear that song.
Good morning.
I'm not even saying good morning this morning. I'm not saying at the top of the morning. I don't want to hear that song there. I don't want to hear it. King, you're criminal for that. You should be arrested and charged.
Oh my goodness.
That's shut up, man. Sure.
Hey, upset her. See how upset her?
Jermaine King. Minty Roo one says, why Jermaine not play that? Kissing my teeth. Come on, YouTubers. Good morning.
Sorry, I'm not saying good morning this morning.
Listen, you're alive and well.
I'm not in the mood for
And
it.
the sun will come out, give thanks.
Turner. I thought I experienced it all. I'm a Manchester United fan. I thought I was used to losing. At least, you know, I can always go back to my glory days and say, oh, my team do this. And we'll soon get back there. But Jesus, man. To be a Man U fan plus a Reggae Boys fan, I can't take no more heartache. I'm emotionally unstable this morning. Emotionally worn out. Emotionally tired. And the worst part about it is, I never have no expectation. Let me say, you know.
You had expectations.
I tell myself something on the expectation, Tana. I was lied to myself.
And you were there.
Tana, before you even get there, we sit down in that traffic.
Walk us through it, Said.
I go gym, first of all. I go gym. I left gym, go back to my office, sit down in that traffic, go back to my office to park. And then I walk from my office. Walk, you know. Tana, I can't tell when last I walk the street. But walk. King, it feel like a mile at this point. Walk. Then I join line. The line never too long still. Got through all of that. I feel like I call my friend for find my ticket. Me could even get seat in the stadium, Tana. I say, all right, the office is full. The man them said they want a full office. The office is full. 35,000 strong, can't go wrong. I slap the post 3 times, Tana. And every time I slap the post, it's like my heart sink deeper. And you know, there was fight. There was fight, you know, but the wrong type of fight. The fight that we needed to see was not man pushing man and one top man in the face. We needed to see that fight in the midfield. But there was nobody in the midfield, Tana. Nobody. Long ball. Nobody in the midfield. And then, boy, it's like me I relive the heartbreak again. We slapped the post 3 different times, Tana. Slapped the post. And one of them was from point blank range. At least 2 of them. Point blank range. And for context, George would give you this context, Tana. To slap the post is oftentimes harder. Yes, it's harder to slap the post than to score. Harder to slap the post than to score. If you're trying to do a crossbar challenge to slap the post, you're more likely to score. And we slapped the post 3 different times. 3 different times. And then we'll wait down in the second half to bring on Dixon, the big number 9. And then Whisper, one of the young prodigies, one of the stars of the team, with the explosiveness, came on and made an impact, but he only got must say 10 or 12 minutes for play. And boy, we just and then turn on the dagger to it is the 90th minute. 5 minutes extra time. And a lot of us were saying, you know what? This done there, man. People start walking out of the stadium. And then just like that, we think we won a penalty. Stadium erupts. Everybody jubilated, saying, yes, this is it. World Cup 2026. Only for the referee to do this, Tana. Straight to the virtual assistant referee, VAR. Goes over, doesn't spend long over there, and says, nope, no penalty.
What was the reaction?
Tana, it's almost like
because
you feel like you win something.
Watch from first.
It's like you feel like you win something, Tana, and then you experience that joy and jubilation, and then them just cut your back right down, bam.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've experienced Melissa. I've experienced heartbreak. I've experienced turmoil. Whatever have I experienced. Yeah, man, we experienced heartbreak already, King. But nothing comes close to this one. Nothing comes close to this one. And then, you know the worst part about it, Tana? Here's what me upset about.
Because you were in the moment.
In the dead in Tana. But even before that, a game like Trinidad against the Soca Boys, we should have won. We should have won. We cannot be playing Trinidad and be playing for a draw. Cannot. Had we won the game against Trinidad, the result of yesterday would have brought us right across the line. We'd have come here and say, whoa, and sing World Cup song. But here we are. At least one man did the right thing yesterday.
So tell me, Saeed, the people, the Jamaicans, at the end of the match, win or win, the general reaction when people are walking out.
I say, I've worked at Nationwide for years now. And boy, I look on George face yesterday, Tana. I see George at the stadium, you know.
Yes.
And boy, only George can tell that story. George looked bent up, vexed. And everybody just walk out. First of all, you would think that we're flocking to leave the stadium yesterday when we lose. Because it's really a loss. A lot of us just stood there in shock, Tana. Like, when the final whistle blow, I would say the Curacao people running on the field, celebrating. A large part of the stadium just stood there in utter shock. Disbelief. Can't believe this happened at all. Yeah, everybody just... We were in shock for a while before we started, piling out the stadium. We were in shock for a while.
Yeah.
And I think, Tana, there has to be a rebuild. Once and for all, we need to have a proper youth development program that feeds into the culture of football that goes right up to the national senior level. That's what we need. That's what we absolutely need. But boy, I don't know. I don't know. From I saw the lineup, I said, man, nah, I have no expectation. I'm going to go there and still end up with expectation and come back disappointed. But I'm going to get some sleep last night. And I'll be more rested this morning. But
I understand your frustration.
Such is life.
I understand your frustration. Jermaine, you said you have a song. I see one of my friends here asking for pain in every language.
We need to sing the song there. Yeah, you need to play that song there. Pain in every language.
Oh no.
And like if you look on the reactions from social media, Tana.
Yeah.
People say, Coach I get all the blame, by the way, when Messi man slapped the post from point blank range. 4 times we hit the post. I mean, exactly. Somebody else said, imagine doing all of that to not qualify for the World Cup. Go back in the parking lot and can't find your car.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Somebody says the first me ever reach home so quick after being at stadium. My blood hot. I'm so disappointed. Needed a win. Somebody say, imagine buying a jersey, a ticket, put gas in your car, drive go match, pay to park, buy food and drinks just to watch them man play like, and I can't repeat that word. Yeah. Jamaicans are disappointed this morning, and rightly so. But, these people talking about, silver lining, at least have a chance, and, intercontinental playoffs. I'm not holding my breath. I'm going to try and not lie to myself this time to say that I'm not having any expectations. I do not see us beating Bolivia. I do not see us beating a team like the Congo. I just don't see us beating any of those two teams. This one time is a golden opportunity. We had no US to play, no Canada to play, no Mexico. We did not face Costa Rica. We did not face Panama. 5 of the strongest teams in this part of the region that we'd have to usually play against to qualify. We did not have to play any of those teams this qualifying round. This qualifying term. We did not have to play any of them. But anyways, big up to Tapa Whitmore anywhere he is this morning. The England coach couldn't do it, but a part of me feel like, Tapa Whitmore, with this route that we had, to my mind, which is one of the easiest routes that we will ever have, Tapa Whitmore, they'll probably do better with it. So big up to Tapa this morning. Anyway, I'm there. I can't tell you the good morning, Tapa, because it's not working. Nothing more hear that song there.
Time getting harder, still we striving for better, and we not gonna stop till the battle is won and we get justice. Cause if you lose your stand, anyone will try to push you over and over. Lift up your head and hold it up high. We know that we'll win the prize.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
12 minutes to 7 o'clock.
JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union offers financial solutions for every stage in your life: savings, auto loans, mortgages, and more. The Temperature by JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union, your financial partner for life, is
24 degrees in Kingston, 24 west in Montego Bay, and 20 degrees in Mandeville.
Every school is free of unhealthy, ultra-processed products. You know, those high in salt, fats, and sugar. If only that weren't a dream. The reality is that many children have an unhealthy diet at school, and 23% of them are overweight or obese. This can lead to hypertension, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. Let's protect our children's right to health with a policy for schools that prevents unhealthy food marketing and ensures access to nutritious foods. The time is now. Let's implement the National School Nutrition Policy. A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and partners.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
It's 9 minutes going up to 7 o'clock, and it's that time for Street Smart with the man, Ludlow McLean. Good morning, Ludlow.
Good morning, Ty. Good morning, Tana.
Hey to you, Ludlow.
Boy, I tell you, if it was the British press, boy, can you imagine the write-ups?
Man.
Anyway, it was a disappointment. But, oh, wow, let's hope we can go to the other rounds. But I predicted a 1-0, but that is, it is what it is. Hit the bar almost 3 times. Anyway, that's the game. The situation, though, as if you're coming from the eastern side, I tell you, there's a lot of traffic coming out of the Bull Bay area there. So you're going to converge at that roundabout by Aberview. Lots of traffic. And Sir Plaza Gospel Highway quite active because I'm making their way up to Windward Road. And then when you go up to Mountain View, there's a lot of traffic from the bottom of Mountain View going all the way up to going past Langston Road, Deanery Road, Arthur Wind. Well, most of it is going on to Arthur Wind, and then from further up to connect with Old Hope Road, and it's just a lot of traffic there. But it's building all the time, so maybe by the time we get to our second one, the flow will increase. Hope Road, however, is flowing, and if you're up in the Ligony area, Mona and all of that, it's also active. And remember, the service at Wellington is not yet complete, right? So it's still a work in progress there. So you're going to have challenges going through that area. And other areas that it's building, it's going into the Alpha Tree area via Hope Road. And if you're coming up Hagley Park onto Eastwood Park Road, it's the same thing. As a matter of fact, that area is also congested. South Oden Avenue and Alpha Tree going into the square. So it's a busy morning in most areas. But let's see what happens. Come 7:20. It's back to you, Said.
Thank you so much, Ludlow. That's Street Smart. Up next, we have your word of the day.
Wait, what's the word of the day?
Disappointment. That's your word of the day. Disappointment. How is it spelled, Tana?
Well, first, we have a perfect
That's a personification of disappointment.
of what disappointment looks like. If you're on our YouTube channel, Nationwide 90 FM Live 2, you'll see a picture of our co-host, our deputy executive editor here at Nationwide 90 FM, George Davis, in the stadium last night watching that match, Reggae Boys against Curacao. And I think George's expression there perfectly, demonstrates or indicates how everybody else was feeling in the stadium last night. Boy, George looked like him in a lot of pain.
So while they're looking at the dictionary meaning of disappointment, it's spelled DISAPPOINTMENT, disappointment. And we don't need to give you a meaning. You can just look at the picture on the screen and you'll get a perfect example of disappointment. To use it in a sentence, George, among 35,000 other spectators, were disappointed at yesterday's result in the National Stadium. And of course, you got a picture there. Disappointment. That's the word of the day. Anyways, up next we have the features. At the top of the hour, we have the news.
Turtles and tortoises can be such a joy for children and adults. Some are very friendly and personable, which makes them that much fun to have as pets. But turtles require long-term commitment for care. In Pets World today, we'll tell you all about the Jamaican slider pond turtle. The Jamaican slider, endemic to Jamaica, is a freshwater variety of turtles of the family Emididae, found in Jamaica and the Bahamas. The average size of a male Jamaican slider turtle is approximately 7.9 inches. The females are bigger in size, measuring approximately 11 inches. The color of the adults varies from dark brown to olive with mild markings. The markings of the little turtles are more prominent, and these gradually fade away during the initial 3 years. These turtles in the freshwater are natives to salty to fresh wetlands all through their range. This consists of streams, ponds, swamps, and impermanent or transient ponds. Most turtles spoil the water quickly. Therefore, be certain to maintain it clean. Give the turtles an area for resting as well as swimming. Place plenty of tiny rocks on the bottom of your tank for the turtle to indulge in their pleasure of digging. Jamaican slider turtles are omnivorous, even though they consume lesser quantities of meat in their later days. The diet of sliders in captivity consists of special food sticks, live goldfish, and dried tubiflex worm cubes. Vegetables and lettuce act as supplements. Where can you buy the Jamaican slider turtles? Environmental Officer in the Ecosystems Management Branch at the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, Damani Cleda, notes it is illegal to harm, keep, or trade the Jamaican slider turtles.
Jamaican slider turtle is a protected species, and that was actually an amendment to the Wildlife Protection Act that was made in 2016 that updated it and then included it. So before 2016, it was not a protected species, and since 2016, it now is. So that means you're not supposed to harm, keep, or trade the Jamaican slider turtle.
He explained why the Jamaican slider turtles are protected.
Being a unique species to the island, it's only found in Jamaica. So if something catastrophic were to happen to Jamaica on a whole, you'd lose the species, right? Not only that, it's not found everywhere. So it is restricted to on certain streams and certain wetlands. And as you know, we are losing a lot of habitat. So it's certain with habitat loss. There are areas where people traditionally eat them. People do take them as pets. And so these are all pressures on an animal that is restricted already to certain areas in the island.
Damani Cleder, Environmental Officer in the Ecosystems Management Branch at the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA. That's it for Pets World. Tune in next time we look at the Cuban slider turtle, which is also found in Jamaica.
Fearless and fair, Nationwide 90 FM.
When we use the phrase presented to, what do we really mean? Even the best books on etiquette give perplexing and confusing answers to apply to this phrase. This is Lifestyle Pages on how to make introductions. Most persons believe that a man should always be presented to a woman. If this is so, then whose name should be mentioned first? There is no right or wrong answer. It depends on what you say and how you say it. There's a consensus among some books on etiquette as why they are in agreement with a new rule that says mention of the woman or the more important person first, because you are seeking permission from the lady or the distinguished person to make the introduction. For example, Mrs. Brown, may I present Mr. Jones? Or, more simply, Mrs. Brown, Mr. Jones. I'm Valerie, and those were Lifestyle Pages.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Jamaica, let's make road safety a priority. Slow down, stay focused. Remember, every life matters. The time brought to you by the JIS is...
News time, 7 o'clock.
If you need to build it, plumb it, weld it, pave it, or power it, National Supply has it. Get the best brands for the job at Jamaica's Industrial Hardware Superstore. Kingston Normal Bay. The temperature by National Supply is
24 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, also 24 out west in Montego Bay, and in Mandeville 20 degrees Celsius.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news at 7 for this morning, Wednesday, November 19, 2025. Reggae Boys miss out on chance to secure automatic qualification to 2026 World Cup. JPS suspends disconnections and late fees as company rolls out temporary customer relief measures. PNP MPs in St. Mary's say government's $3 million relief allocation not enough to address needs of constituents impacted by Hurricane Melissa. And in international news, 10 killed and 40 wounded in heavy Russian attack on Ukraine. The details after the break.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
For the details, I'm Tawna Thomas. Jamaica will have to qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup through the side door. This after only managing a draw in a must-win clash with Curacao in their final group stage game on Tuesday night inside the National Stadium in Kingston. In front of the biggest crowd assembled at the venue in decades, 35,000 plus, according to the stadium announcer. The Reggae Boys struck the woodwork 3 times and had a penalty decision overturned by VAR over 90-plus frustrating minutes. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, Opposition Leader Mark Golding, and CONCACAF boss Victor Montagliani were present to witness the boys fail to secure automatic qualification to football's showpiece event. On the other hand, the tiny nation of Curacao, which boasts a population of about 160,000, almost equal to the number of people who live in St. Elizabeth, created history on the night. They became the smallest country by population to reach the World Cup finals on the back of an outstanding showing where they were the only unbeaten team throughout the qualifying stage in CONCACAF. The show is not over for the Reggae Boys, though. They will proceed to a 16 playoff, which includes Suriname, Bolivia, New Caledonia, Democratic Republic of Congo, and Iraq. The tournament will be played in March 2026, and the top 2 teams will qualify for the FIFA World Cup. Meanwhile, Steve McLaren has resigned as head coach of the national senior men's football team. He tendered the resignation mere minutes after the Reggae Boys drew 0-0 with Curacao at the National Stadium Tuesday night, dashing hopes of booking automatic qualification to the FIFA World Cup. McLaren first told President of the JFF, Michael Ricketts, about his decision, then confirmed it at the post-game press conference.
It is the responsibility of the leader, myself, to step forward, take accountability and make decisions in the best interest of the team for them to go forward. After deep reflection and an honest assessment of where we are and where we need to go, I have decided to step down as the head coach of the Jamaican national team.
Steve McLaren. The Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS, has rolled out a temporary customer relief program as the country rebounds from the impact of Hurricane Melissa. JPS's Corporate Communications Officer Darian Reed says under the initiative, the company will suspend service disconnections and waive all late payment fees until December 15.
JPS understands how deeply Hurricane Melissa has impacted families across the island. Even for customers who weren't directly hit, many of them have relatives, friends, co-workers who were severely impacted, and a lot of those funds set aside for bills are now being used to help other people recover. We understand this, and to support our customers, JPS has suspended all service disconnections and late payment fees for residential customers until December 15. And for customers who may need more time, they can get access to special payment plans.
Darian Reed, JPS's Corporate Communications Officer. The utility company notes that bills now being issued reflect electricity usage recorded mostly before the passage of Hurricane Melissa. According to JPS, power has been restored to about 70% of customers as crews continue island-wide restoration efforts. Meanwhile, Energy Minister Darrell Vaz has welcomed the move, praising what he calls JPS's compassionate approach to affected households. In a post on X, Minister Vaz says the new program improves on the relief measures offered after Hurricane Beryl in 2024. He adds that while this is a strong first step, he expects the relief to be extended to commercial customers, especially those in the western parishes. The minister says he anticipates receiving the detailed restoration schedule promised by JPS management later this week. President of the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB, Ilan Golfan, says some of its donations to Jamaica could be available in a matter of days. Golfan was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday.
So, for example, the immediate one, the one on the emergency, could be days. The CCF, which is the credit contingent, could be a week or two. That's already being requested by the government. I was with the minister, with the prime minister, and that has been requested. So this is going to be very, very fast. The recovery, the financing for the sectors, that will need us to work on a plan. So the resources that grants will provide plan, a program, a project. Then it will take a little longer for the recovery.
According to a post on his social media pages, Golfan says the IDB's proposed package includes $1.26 billion in financing and $4.7 million in grants. The funds are directed towards key areas such as health, housing, energy, and water. Golfan was among a group of leaders who participated in a tour of Jamaica's worst affected areas following the passage of Hurricane Melissa. That tour was conducted on Monday. He says that the IDB has acknowledged that the Caribbean region is susceptible to disasters based on multiple factors.
The Caribbean countries are especially vulnerable to natural disasters. We cannot ignore that the natural disasters and the new situation, global situation, is affecting more some countries than others. If you are an island, a country island in the Caribbean, you are more vulnerable to that. And therefore, banks like us, development banks, should have a special treatment in these cases. We have arranged a program called One Caribbean. So when I heard that they were going to the visit, to the tour, a bank like us has to be part of it.
Ilan Golfan, president of the IDB. Meanwhile, the IDB president says outside of humanitarian aid provisions, resilient rebuilding efforts must take place in order to withstand future disasters.
Well, we need to provide not only the impact, immediate impact and the humanitarian aid, but also very important, how we're going to make the recovery a sustainable recovery. Build things in a resilient way. So we are thinking about areas that we can help. Can we rebuild the hospitals in a very strong way? Can we rebuild the power grid in a way that will be sustained for long and be resilient to the next natural disaster? Can we look at housing and make the housing stronger for the future?
Ilan Golfun, president of the IDB, he was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday. Guyana has pledged to provide resources to rebuild 200 roofs which were severely damaged during the passage of Hurricane Melissa. The country's president, Dr. Irfan Ali, made the pledge during a tour along with several CARICOM leaders in Western Jamaica on Monday. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness led the high-level delegation of over 20 Caribbean leaders and government officials. The convoy met at the Montego Bay Convention Center in St. James and ended the tour in White House, Westmoreland. Dr. Ali says Guyana will mobilize both materials and manpower to begin repairing damaged roofs. He says the effort will be led by the Jamaica Defense Force with assistance from the Guyana Defense Force. President Ali announced plans for a weekend shipment of additional relief materials. These include food, tarpaulins, building materials, and black tanks. Dr. Ali says the shipment is to bolster Jamaica's capacity to shelter and house residents affected by the hurricane. He notes that it's important to restore shelter before the Christmas holidays. The PNP MPs for Southeast and Central St. Mary are calling on the government to increase hurricane allocations for their constituencies as a matter of urgency. The MPs are Christopher Brown and Omar Newell. Brown says the scale of the need is far greater than the current allocation of $3 million.
Hurricane Melissa has left more than 850 homes in my constituency damaged and close to 1,000 in Central St. Mary. Yet, each of us has been given only $3 million in building support. The truth is that cannot begin to meet the scale of need. This is no longer just a housing issue. It is a food and livelihood crisis. Our farmers have lost fields, crops, and the little security they had. Farming makes up 70% of our local economy, and for many families, the same farm that feeds them is the only source of income they have. We cannot in good conscience look 790 families in my own constituency and tell them that there is nothing for them.
Christopher Brown, MP for Southeast St. Mary. Meanwhile, Newell says the allocation can only help 60 families.
At the ministry's own guidance of $50,000 per affected household, this allocation can only assist about 60 families. That is less than 10% of the people who need help today. And this is not just about numbers on a spreadsheet. These are families sleeping in damaged houses, waiting on electricity, struggling to find food, and farmers staring at land that once sustained entire communities and now lies destroyed. We're asking the government to urgently review the allocation formula so that every verified household receives at least the basic assistance it is entitled to, and that our farmers get targeted support to restart production.
Omar Newell, MP for Central St. Mary. The Bank of Jamaica BOJ says the country's financial sector will be able to absorb the negative impact of Hurricane Melissa and support the expected growth in demand for cash as recovery efforts continue. The BOJ says its assessment follows a meeting of its Financial Policy Committee on November 17. The BOJ says the committee reviewed the financial system's performance and systemic risks based on data up to September this year. It noted that the domestic financial system had been stable during the September 2025 quarter. Key contributing factors include real GDP growth, low inflation, and a general easing of monetary policy globally. But the BOJ notes that the passage of Hurricane Melissa may affect that stability. It says, in addition to key sectors directly impacted by Melissa, affected households are expected to experience weakened debt servicing capacity. This, it says, could potentially lead to an uptick in non-performing loans. Despite the negative impact on credit quality, the bank states that the deposit-taking sector remains well positioned to absorb this deterioration. The BOJ says it anticipates the overall impact on the economy will be mitigated by financial transfers and gifts in kind from several jurisdictions and agencies to aid the recovery and rehabilitation process. This in addition to the government's disaster risk financing framework. The preliminary results indicate that respective financial system subsectors possess sufficient capital and liquidity to absorb the negative impact of Hurricane Melissa. According to the bank, financial institutions are well positioned to support the recovery effort. This includes currency supply, processing of verified insurance-related payments, and, where appropriate, offering temporary deferral of credit-related facilities. The BOJ says it stands ready to maintain orderly conditions in the foreign exchange market. It's also ready to provide the necessary liquidity support to deposit-taking institutions should the need arise. To international news now, 10 people were killed in a heavy overnight Russian missile and drone attack that struck a residential tower block in western Ukraine. Another 40 people, including 12 children, were wounded. The overnight strikes targeted energy and transport infrastructure, forcing emergency power cuts in a number of regions in frigid temperatures. Ukrainian officials say Russia launched more than 400 drones and 48 missiles in the attack. Poland, a NATO member state bordering western Ukraine, temporarily closed airports in the southeast of the country and scrambled Polish and Allied aircraft as a precaution to safeguard its airspace. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky has urged allies to increase pressure on Russia to end its nearly 4-year-old war with its country, including by providing Kyiv with more air defense missiles. And that's it for the news at 7.
Sign up for the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. The time by JN Money is
7:16.
Rent or buy your hurricane supplies from Total Tools. Visit 102 Main Street, Ochareas, 34 Slipe Road, Kingston 5, or Lot C6, Drax Hall, St. Anne's Bay. The temperature brought to you by Total Tools Jamaica is
24 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, 25 out west in Montego Bay, and still 20 degrees Celsius in Mandeville. This is a public service announcement from JPS. JPS is urging customers not to pay anyone to have their electricity service reconnected. Customers are reminded that unauthorized reconnections can be extremely dangerous and can result in serious injury, electrocution, or damage to property. This practice is unethical, illegal, and could delay restoration efforts. If anyone claiming to represent JPS requests payment for reconnection services, report it immediately to the nearest police station or JPS. JPS thanks all customers for their patience as teams continue working to restore power safely and as quickly as possible. That was a public service announcement from JPS.
More savings, more choices. Get active with Active Home Center. The one-stop shop for everything for your home. We have more savings, more choices, unbelievable prices. Wide selection with the latest style. The kitchen, bathroom, right down to the tile. Buy the hottest items on spot, don't miss out. Best options under one roof, no doubt. More savings, more choices.
Visit us in store or online at www.activehomecenter.com.
We have more savings, more choices.
That time of the morning when we get our second report of Street Smart with Ludlow McLean. Hey to you, Ludlow.
Hey, Tona. DP.
Hey, yeah.
All right, and the listeners or visitors and all our transport stakeholders and investors, drivers, passengers. No, I did mention that in the Harbour View it was quite busy coming to that roundabout, and also further Glasspool has traffic, Michael Manley Boulevard, all of these areas. But when you get to Port Royal Street, it's not too bad at this particular point in time. However, if you're coming from the Portmore heading onto the Marcus Garvey off-ramp, heading onto Marcus Garvey Drive, heading to downtown, it's quite active. And then when you get to Harbour Street, there's a lot of traffic in that region, and it takes you back onto Camp Road, South Camp Road, I would say. And also a number of vehicles make it onto Hanover Road, Duke Street, King Street. So it sort of alleviates some of the traffic. But going off Camp Road, South Camp Road, there's also traffic. And then you're going to have traffic coming out of Deanery Road onto Camp and South Camp Road, respectively. And some of that is going all the way up to the vicinity of Caledonia and by extension, what we call it, Tom Redcomb, sorry. So much of that traffic is in the Tom Redcomb area. So that area is getting busy. And don't forget uptown, meaning coming off Manningsville Road, Constance Spring Road, Red Hills Road. They also, Malines Road, yes, heading into Alpha Tree there. And if you're in the other areas, it's just busy most of the areas. All the intersections are busy at this particular point in time. Yes, it's our second report, and as usual at Street Smart, your safety is our concern. It's over to you, Tona.
Thank you so much, Ludlow, for that second report of Street Smart with Ludlow McLean. Up next, the front page.
Front Page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. Turning our attention now to our discussion segment, the front page. What is being discussed on the front page this morning? The match last evening at the National Stadium. Steve McLaren has resigned as head coach of the national senior men's football team. He tendered the resignation mere minutes after the Reggae Boys drew 0-0 with Curacao at the National Stadium Tuesday night, dashing hopes of booking automatic qualification to the FIFA World Cup. McLaren first told President of the JFF, Michael Ricketts, about his decision, then confirmed it when he appeared at the post-game press conference. Ricketts says that the Federation will appoint a replacement ahead of the team's participation in the Inter-Confederation playoff in Mexico next March for a second shot at qualifying for the World Cup. McLaren was in charge of 23 games for Jamaica since taking over in July 2024, winning 11, drawing 6, and losing 4.
Jamaica went into Tuesday's game needing a win to book only their second ever appearance at football's showpiece. But despite coming close on a number of occasions, the team just could not breach the defense of Curacao, who now becomes the smallest team ever to qualify for the World Cup. Jamaica finished second with 11 points, while Curacao ended with 12 points and joined Haiti and Panama in the World Cup. Well, for a discussion on last night's game and the future of national football, we're joined by a veteran coach, Calvert Fitzgerald, and of course Nationwide's own host, football analyst, announcer, you name it, the man, the legend, George Davis. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Morning, Calvert.
Good morning, George.
Well, let me start with you first, Calvert. Your reactions to yesterday's match. What was your sum up of it, your analysis?
Well, as a Jamaican, you would want a national team to qualify for the World Cup, because, you know, it's been a long time now. We have only done it once, but analytically, when you're looking at our preparation and how we have approached the games, and when you look at how the other teams play and our team play, I think we were always depending on individual performances to take us through to the World Cup. We have not played a team that we have looked more organized and more structured than. So we were basically depending on some individual performance of a player to take us through, and I suppose we just fell short. You know, that didn't work out. The more organized team, the team that is playing the better football, and I think Curacao deserve to qualify from our zone because of the level of organization. You can identify a system, and football is a team sport, and I think the better team won out in the end.
What was off with our team synergy last evening, Calvert?
No, well, it was not just the last game.
Mm-hmm.
For quite a few years now, I can't put my finger on it, but we just never seems to put a team together that synchronizes, you know, that you can identify a system of play, you know. But I think the problem for that, what causes that issue, was the fact that we continue to believe that we can play football without a midfield. Because all of the teams we play, you can definitely see a system of play, a level of organization, you know, the teammate in sync with teammates. But with we have some good players, and we just put them on the field, and we just hope that, you know, somebody will come up with something.
And you were in the stadium last evening, George. What was your mindset? I mean, I know a bit of it. We were here at Nationwide, but bring us into your mindset in those minutes before the match started, and your reaction throughout, and then at the end.
Well, I would endorse everything that Calvert has said, everything, because he's analyzed it perfectly. Before the game, I was very apprehensive because, as he says, as a team, as a unit, we were coming up short in all of the previous games in this qualification round. We weren't cohesive. We lacked the ability to move the ball on the floor from defense up to the tip of our attack. In order for us to do that, most of the times it was a long ball. So a big diagonal to Cephas, a big diagonal to Damari Gray, or some long ball somewhere in the connection. The other team, the good team in the group, certainly Curacao, which was, as he says, the best team in the group and the team that deserved to qualify. They could do that from memory. It was seamless, the transition through the various sectors of the team. So I was very apprehensive, and I was hoping that somehow we would do what you call in boxing. You have a puncher's chance. You swing, you may connect, and it may knock the opponent out. So I was hoping for something like that, because collectively we were still putting together the team cohesion that is necessary to qualify for a World Cup. You can win a tournament with many qualities. You can qualify for a tournament with many qualities. The qualities for winning a tournament and for qualifying a tournament are the same, different from the qualities you need to win a single football match. And we just lacked that cohesion. So apprehensive before, anguish throughout. Now we hit the woodwork, hit the upright, hit the crossbar twice, had the penalty justifiably overturned by VAR. But outside of that, we never played the kind of football to threaten Curacao. Curacao were an excellent team. It was a very, very good performance from them last night. And I must have to single out Sambo, their right back, or number 2, who kept Ronaldo Cephas quiet. Ronaldo Cephas being quiet was also helped by the failure of our midfield to get him into the game, because he's in a position where he's a recipient first, then he goes to attack. He's not going to go deep and find the ball and then run past 2 or 3 players. We have to put him in a position where he can isolate his man and then go to work. We rarely got him in those positions, and in the times we did so, Sambo stifled him, and Cephas was that one man, that puncher's chance we had last night before the substitutes came on, who could do the magic that we needed. And unfortunately, in football, teamwork and organization will trump individual brilliance most of the times.
And George, as you were watching the game, did you see frustration, for example, in our players as they played?
Well, from only Richard King, who was outstanding last night for us in the back, because, again, the movement in front of him, some of those big, long passes that Richard played, which he's very good at. I mean, he plays those week in, week out for Cavalier, and it's good to see a local player standing tall at the international level for us. But he was the one sometimes waving his arms in frustration at the lack of movement in front of him. When he got possession, the men in front of him stood and waited. Okay, Richard, where are you going to pass it? And he's saying, okay, but who's running? Who's moving? Who's putting players into different sectors to allow me to play the different pass from the expected big booming diagonal? Mm-hmm. And he was very frustrated with his midfielders and his forwards for the lack of movement on a couple of occasions.
All right, gentlemen, hold the line. We're going to take a break and come back with more, speaking to veteran coach Calvert Fitzgerald and, of course, no stranger, George Davis.
Give up every illegal gun. Call the police at 119 or Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
7:30.
Visit Marshall's Pharmacy, Greater Portmore, for all your prescription needs, gifts, personal care, household, and stationery items. The temperature by Marshall's Pharmacy, Greater Portmore is...
It's 25 degrees in Kingston and in Montego Bay, but 20 degrees in Mandeville.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
$7:31. Thank you so much for staying with us. We're still on the front page. We're getting reactions from yesterday's match at the National Stadiums. It was the big chance for the Reggae Boys to make it to the World Cup through automatic qualification. All we needed was a win yesterday. But I want to put to you, Coach Calvert and George. The coach in a press conference, well, the former coach, as he is now, he said in a press conference that they were playing for a draw as regards Trinidad. Isn't that admittedly a mistake?
Yeah, well, if I could take that one, I think that was where we lost it all, because analyzing the games that we played, I think we have the beating of Trinidad historically, for the last maybe 10 games. We have, they have not beaten us, and they play more organized football and all that, but we are just find a way to beat them. The Curacao game, we lost one game in the group, and that was the Curacao at home 2-0. So then my game plan would be, beat Trinidad, and if we get a draw against Curacao, then we'll automatically qualify. To me, that makes footballing sense. Mm-hmm. But to go to the team that you're continuously beating, collecting 3 points from, to basically not lose, play for a draw. If you win, you'll take it, but you're not going out there. You're not taking a chance to get that 3 points, but you want to come at home for a team that beat you 2-0, the only game that you lost in the group, and you're going to bring it down to that much to win that match at home. I think tactically that was a big mistake. We should have gone out and tried to get the 3 points from Trinidad, and then maybe that would have given us the fillip to even win this game at home.
George, what's your read on it?
Yeah, again, he's spot on. The thing is this, remember, the Trinidad hasn't beaten us for what? Maybe perhaps what?
Quite a long time.
A long time, yeah? So here's the thing now. Mapping out the fixtures, as Coach Fitzgerald will tell you, they do those things when they go into tournaments. You look at the teams and you say, okay, what should we be getting here in order to get the job done? It has to be 6 points against Bermuda. That's a gimme. Then you have to go 6 points against TNT. And you have to say, worst case scenario, 2 points against Curacao. And people say Curacao is a place where we're going to buy clothes to come back, come sell. No. Curacao, the former Netherlands Antilles, turned Curacao where FIFA is concerned in 2010. They, many people will not remember, beat Jamaica in a Caribbean Cup final as recently as 2017. Then they went to the Gold Cup in 2019, and they also beat us at the CONCACAF Gold Cup. So a game against Curacao was always going to be difficult, and those two games would have been the two games that we would have made an allowance for not taking maximum points from. Every other game, we would have had to say, these are maximum point games because the Curacao games will be the trickiest given the quality of that team. People also don't know that beyond what they've done at the international level in a long time, the Curacao teams have always been very, very good teams. These are players who are schooled in the Dutch system, who are very good with the ball at their feet, as we saw last night. Every man on that Curacao team, with the ball at his feet and the opponent closing him down, wasn't in a rush to get away, to get rid of the ball. They could manipulate the ball. They could at least buy themselves some time to find a teammate with a proper pass. Us, on the other hand, we don't have that schooling. So, man has ball, opponent runs to him, boom, kicks it away, tries to get rid of it as if it's a grenade. So these guys are well schooled. And I remember in 2016, I went to St. Lucia to do a Guinness street football competition. And that the team that won the competition was a selection from the Curacao national team, preparing for the Caribbean Cup, which they went on to beat Jamaica in. And let me tell you, those boys were magical. I was awestruck by how good they were in a futsal competition. And about 5 of those guys played in the Gold Cup, in the Caribbean Cup winning team the year after. So people think it's Curacao, so Curacao is nothing. And that's where the mistake was. The Trinidad game away, that was the game that turned the results that we're now talking about now.
I want to ask, though, because last time we qualified was a draw against Mexico, if I recall correctly, 1997. It's been 28 years now, Fitzgerald and George, since we've qualified for the World Cup. Almost 30 years, 3 decades. And the conversation has always been, we need to do this, we need to do that in order to get things done, in order to qualify for our second ever World Cup. But it seems as if the length of time that we've passed, that nothing is working. Where do we go from here? George? Hello? Okay. Trying to get back the line here. We're having some technical difficulties. But of course, Tana, the conversation will have to go to what do we do now? Where do we go from here? Of course, the GFF will appoint an interim coach. We'll hear about that. Fitzgerald is back. Coach?
Yes, I'm back.
Yes. What do we need to do? It's been almost 3 decades since we've last qualified for the World Cup. What do we need to do, and why haven't we been doing it?
Well, what I think we really need to do is because every time that a World Cup cycle comes around, we start to, so we don't have no continuity. So I think because we have failed this time, and it's embarrassing because the 3 top teams in region has automatically qualified as hosts. So naturally we're supposed to be the 4th best team. And we can't qualify, so that means that we are doing something fundamentally wrong. So I think we should restructure the whole program. I think we should get a system of play, and we should, as best as possible, because we have a coaching school, we could get the coaches buying into the system of play that we nation decides to say, yes, this is how we want to play because of our physical ability, because the skill level, because of our temperament, you know. When you put all of that into the mix, I believe we can come up with a system, say, yes, we want it. And then we start to coach it from the grassroots. We know we're going to have a lot of players from the diaspora, you know, coming into play. But if we have a philosophy, I think it is easier for them to adapt to that. Because what I see as our main downfall is the fact that we get a lot of players from England, right? The England game used to be a long ball game, but if you realize over the past decade, they have brought in a lot of Spanish coach, Dutch coach, Italian coaches that doesn't necessarily play that kind of football. But if you notice, it's a very limited amount of English coaches in the Premier League. I think I can only identify one. So the ball that is being played in the EPL in England is the more shorter passing game. McLaren is an original English coach delivering to the long ball. So obviously the player he's getting from England, they are not playing that kind of football anymore. So when they come to Jamaica now, they have to totally change how they play and start to kick the ball long.
And for you?
So we need to get a coach that can coach. But when you have a collection of players, you have to get a system that suits most of that players. Not a system like how specific coaches specific system. No, we have to, but because we're not getting players like you have the Brazilian, the Italian, and so all of those players come through their academy and youth system, so they know how to play. So no matter where they go in the world and play, they have a basic foundation in how they play. And those English players that we get in now, they're not used to playing the long ball. It's a new generation of players. McLaren now, that's what he knows. So I think that is the problem. We have to have an identifiable system or style of play. And I think it will be easier for the players to adapt to. Because when you see them playing for their teams, their club teams, they look much better than when we see them playing for us. Because of the style of football that them play, the system of football them play. So we have to start it from here. So when they come into an identifiable system. That's how I think it should really. I think that is the solution to the problem.
And Calvert, you're not the only one saying it. I'm seeing an interview as well with Craig Butler, the Phoenix Academy founder and Mona High School head coach, saying the very same thing. No system, no culture. And he's saying that's one of the important things that's necessary now in whatever redevelopment will be needed. For you, George, what do you think is necessary?
Yeah, I mean,
realigning them.
The answer lies in what has been said, and I mean the culture has long been an issue. The thing though is McLaren wasn't hired to put in a culture. McLaren was hired to qualify for the World Cup with what we had, and trying to fashion the best approach to playing the game based on the talent available. Did he make the best use of the resources that he had? Well, clearly the answer is no, because we're here now looking at a 16 qualification group to try to pinch one of the two places. Fact of the matter is, I've long been upset with our tendency. Every player with an ounce of Jamaican blood in him who can't make the squad in the country that he's playing in, advertises that, I'm available for Jamaica, and we go and pick them up. And we pick up one every week. Every international win the 2 more, 3 more new faces. And it goes like that, and it goes like that. So rarely do you see the same 11 being selected for games when the players are fit. And that has to affect the chemistry within the team. I always go back to that word. It's Rennie Simoes' favorite word from 97, the 97 qualification of journey. Chemistry is very important. And so we keep adding these players. And the thing is this, the players we add are not better than the players we had before. So we're adding the sameness of sameness, muchness of muchness, and it's not making a difference, and we're disrupting chemistry and interfering with cohesion by the addition and the introduction of players who are not world beaters and who are not adding anything different from those who are there. That culture needs to stop. I remember Theodore Whitmore on the eve of a World Cup qualifier at the stadium, having about 5 or 6 men who had never met each other before, let alone played football together, running out for a national team at the stadium. Michael Antonio was one of them, and of course we lost the game. And I'm saying, show me where else in the history of football has a team serious about qualification brought in players who have never played together before to play a World Cup qualifier, and when they lose, we jump up and we quarrel. So the solutions are ahead of us. McLaren was brought in with his experience from the treble-winning year at Manchester United, his experience coaching England, his experience coaching in the Dutch Eredivisie, winning the Dutch Eredivisie, being an assistant at Manchester United. Again, it was felt that all of that collective experience could have caused him to pull together all of the material we have right now and get qualification done. And listen, ladies, gentlemen, if you got a group with Bermuda, TNT, and QSO, and you're asked to win the group to go to the World Cup, what more could you want? You couldn't want anything more than that, even before the first ball was kicked in qualification. So this is a major cock-up. And the fact that we have a playoff to come is can consolation. We should have punched our ticket automatically. It's a failure of those who have charge of managing the resources, the playing resources, for us being here this morning, not toasting World Cup qualification, but now looking forward to next year March, when we're going to try to qualify for amongst DR, Congo, Iraq, and New Caledonia, and all those teams.
After the break, Calvert, I want to get your reaction to McLaren's resignation, as well as what's the road ahead to March next year. We take a break and come back with more.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
7:46.
Hawkeye expresses heartfelt sympathy to all Jamaicans impacted by Hurricane Melissa. As we recover together, we remain committed to securing what matters most. The temperature by Hawkeye is
25 degrees in Kingston, 25 degrees in Montego Bay, and 20 in Mandeville.
And by the catch them, can you tire them boss? Before you do road, check your tire them first.
If you no want catch Radam, drive good on TransJam. A message from TransJam Highways.
Tell me where you get the money transfer. Alliance. Where you get the money transfer. Alliance. Where you get the money transfer. Money move like a bird, like a plane, it's a blur. Money quick, money fast, money reach in a flash. This your agent no run out of cash. Pay the rent, pay the bills, or buy the grocery. Make a call for the cash and pay the school fee.
Money when and where you need it. Alliance MoneyGram and Ria Money Transfer. Convenient locations island-wide. A member of Sagicor Group Jamaica.
Tell me where you get the money transfer. Alliance.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning, having a conversation post reactions to the Reggae Boys failing to secure automatic qualification at the National Stadium in last evening's game, Curacao versus the Reggae Boys. Welcome back to the program, Calvert and George. Calvert, before the break, was saying wanted to get your reaction to Steve McLaren post-game announcing his resignation.
Well, I think that was always on the card, because as he said, as an experienced international coach, that football is a result business, and it definitely, when you have, right, how football is analyzed internationally, because we cannot do it a different way here in Jamaica, but how is what you do with the resources that you have. So when it's a big coach is being moved along, in other countries, it's simply because the resources that they have is better than the resources that another club or country has, but those countries with the less resources are getting the better of you. That means that you are not maximizing the potential of yours and the resources that you have, the talent that you have. So when you find yourself in a position like that, it simply means you're underperforming. And in the coaching field, underperformance naturally means that you're going to be sacked or you step aside. If you realize that you're just not getting the best out of the players that you have, you're just not finding a way to put it, to form a cohesive group that can give you positive results when needed, then it's only natural that it's either you're going to be sacked or you can do the honorable thing and you can step aside. And I thought he did the honorable thing and step aside, because if he didn't, I don't think the Federation would have any alternative but to fire him. Because I've heard, I've heard that people are saying that also the Federation should go, Mr. Speech should go because he's the person that is appointing the coaches and all of that. But in the real world, the owners of businesses normally employ and fire players, I don't see nowhere where the owner of the business is going to fire themselves. So, that is just wishful thinking. It is always going to be this way.
And the Federation is now looking to find a replacement for McLaren ahead of the boys participating in the games Interconfederation playoff in Mexico. Do we look in country or do we again go outside of Jamaica? First you, Calvert, then George.
Well, from a coaching point of view, from a coach's point of view, I've been around this thing for quite some while, and personally, we don't think it matters at this time, because I personally believe that when you look at the caliber of the players that we have, I personally think any half-decent coach could do a better job. Our team lack organization. Any decent coach. We don't necessarily need a top foreign coach or a top local coach. We just need a decent coach. Because we have intelligent players. What coaches do, you watch films or videos of the players that you're going to select. You see how they play. You see them weaknesses, you see them strengths. You write down, you slow down, you do all of the things then what them doing at technical meeting and stuff like that. And then you pencil out who and who you feel can get the job done, to get a cohesive unit. Because sometimes you can have some very good players, but they're not fitting at the system of the player, and the majority of players. You go through all of that, right? That is simple. So there's just no reason or no excuse for how our team has been playing. At least under Al Grimson, he came with a styling settings and long ball, in sturdy in defense and long ball. All right, a lot of people don't like it, but you see the system, you know what it is going to do. But with this coach, it's just, you just don't know. It's like you just get some people and just put them on the field and say, "Oh, no good man, oh, no play England, oh, no better than everybody else. Just go to go win the match."
Yeah.
So, so we just need, so to me, it's not a year idea what we get. Because coaching education now is not like, say, it's only available in England or Australia or China or Germany, Everything is on the internet now, So the information is there. And we keep a lot of coaching courses here where they invite international instructors. Some of our senior coaches now are actually coaching instructors. So the information is there. So I don't think it's so matter if the person here white or them high blue or I don't think it matter anymore, because the information is so readily available. We just want to get somebody who can simply organize. In international football, you don't have, it's not like a club where you have them for 6, 7, 8, 9 months a year. So it's more about organization. So all we need is somebody like that.
And for you, George? George? Dropped again? All right.
I've dropped him. But coach, tell me this. To go in a match like this, and you know the result is what it is, you know, do you come to that thought before the match to say, well, if I lose, I'm going to resign? Or I'm trying to ask a question in a particular way, because we're not sure. I saw the coach reading from handwritten paper, 2 pages, I think, saying that he's given long thought and all of that. Obviously reading a script that was written prior. Don't know if it was written right after the match or before the match, but what is the mindset going into a match like this? Do you tell yourself, oh, if I lose, I'm just going to resign, or your goal is to win and then you figure it out after?
Well, going into important games like this, depending on how the team was playing leading up to this final very important game, this highlight game, you know, so, and to how our team has been playing, probably he had written that 3-4 days ago, or even 2-3 weeks ago, because the team wasn't playing good enough. And as coaches, you know when a team not playing good enough, but you still try to see if you can get this turnaround. You're trying to see if you can change the mindset, you know. You try to see if you can motivate them to get a good performance out of them. But you can know, you know when a team not playing well, but you wouldn't go there and say, no, my team is not playing well, you know, the ballers are not living up to expectation. I don't think I'm getting this right. You know, you wouldn't go there and say that to a coach, but you know. So he knew that if the result, right, because he gambled, you know, he gambled big time with the Trinidadian match. He gambled big time. So he put all the eggs in one basket. And so he knew if we didn't get a victory, that would be curtains for him. So, yeah, I think he had basically, because after the game, right, the level of disappointment and frustration, he wouldn't get time in such a short space of time to sit down and articulate that so well. But because you would be emotional, and that was a well-structured resignation letter. So there's no way him could have do that after the game. Because when the members say people attack you, you have to go console your players. You know, you have so much other things to do. So you wouldn't have sufficient time to, you know, to have that thought process, to sit down and get yourself calm and pretend what you have spent. So obviously that was done in preparation if the result didn't go the way he wanted it to go.
Yeah.
George, isn't that, weren't we then defeated following Coach Fitzgerald's logic? Weren't we already defeated before the match started, then, before we kicked the ball?
Well, you could look at it like that. I mean, different people have different processes for how they plan for eventualities. He will tell you that he was just planning. You know, if he had won the game and we had qualified, I'm sure he would have gone for another speech. That would have been pre-written. And we lost and we didn't qualify automatically, so we went for the other one. The thing is this, you know, Steve McLaren has been bruised by the English media, given his record with the English national team. That infamous image of him standing beneath an umbrella at Wembley in the rain as his team lost to Croatia and failed to qualify for the World Cup. And if you saw a picture I put in the news group this morning about where's the Wally without the brolly, yeah, he was known as the Wally with the brolly, and he has never lived that down. And a large section of the English media don't rate him and the English coaching infrastructure. That said, I think his selection was not a bad one because he had the wealth of experience to be able to pull together all that he had at his disposal to get the job done. Look at Ricard Brocard, the Curacao manager, 78 years old. He'll be the oldest man leading a team out in North America for the World Cup next year. He has had a lot of experience. He's an old man at 78, yeah? And he's still getting the job done. So you experience counts for something when it takes effect. Otherwise, you're just going to look like yesterday's man. And for the verdict after the whole campaign is that football has passed Steve McLaren. And you hear it in Calvert's breakdown of the tactical shortcomings of the team, the tactics and how to use what is at your disposal. It does suggest a man who the football has left him standing at the bus stop and the bus is gone far down the road. just looking at the game last night as we close, I must say, seeing how Curacao managed the midfield and how their ball handlers took possession with defenders in their back, held it, found their teammate and kept the rhythm going nice and slick, and the sharp interchanging passes. At no point in the game did our team do that. And we just seem to lack that kind of thing. That almost as if Jamaica is waiting to one day hear that a player is born somewhere with a midfield maestro, and all our problems will be solved. As if we don't have that kind of player, then football cannot be played properly, and we can't meet our objective. So there are many things wrong. I mean, the McLaren appointment was not one of the wrong things. The McLaren result is a wrong thing, but we know what we need to do to get to move on from here. And I certainly hope that we learn our lessons, put somebody in charge of these two games. As Calvert said, there are several local coaches who can do the job. You don't need a foreigner. And we should approach those games with confidence that we can be one of the two.
So you're saying, gentlemen, both of you, Fitzgerald, George, that we should appoint a local coach. You're calling for a local coach to be appointed for the next two matches for the Intercontinental playoffs.
I'm certainly calling for that.
Fitzgerald?
Well, I'm not necessarily calling for a local coach, but I say I wouldn't be averse to that. We just want to get somebody that can organize a team properly. Whether they are real local, foreign, it doesn't matter, but we just want to get somebody with a good track record of proper organization. Not necessarily have to be a biggest coach, because we're not going to we don't have more than 2 or 3 days with the players. So the most important thing there is organization.
Very well. Veteran coach Fitzgerald there, Calvert Fitzgerald, and of course Nationwide's own football analyst and announcer and host, deputy executive producer, man with many hats, George Davis. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Good. Up next, across Jamaica.
Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
a minute after 8.
Success, powered by learning. The temperature, brought to you by Sandals Corporate University. Come grow with us, is
5 degrees in both cities, Kingston and Montego Bay, 22 out west in Mandeville.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's across Jamaica this morning.
Taking you across Jamaica this Wednesday morning, I'm Tona Thomas. United Way of Jamaica has launched its Restoration and Rehabilitation Fund to help farmers recover from the impact of Hurricane Melissa. The organization will work with a core partner, Jamaica Agricultural Society, in the effort. UWJ Board Chair Dr. Devon Smith says the organization will provide seed funding of $1.5 million. United Way Worldwide has added $21 million raised through its network. Dr. Smith says the effort will provide equipment, livestock feed, fertilizer and planting supplies, including seedlings such as watermelon, cantaloupe and cucumber. He says the fund will also provide infrastructure rebuilding support for homes, basic schools, greenhouses and churches. In addition, the fund is set to facilitate financial assistance in the form of grants of low amounts to support immediate recovery and longer-term resilience. Among the individual donors to the fund is AWF 100-meter world champion Oblique Seville. Seville says agriculture is dear to him as his late father was a RADA field officer and his mother is a farmer. The athlete donated $500,000. CIBC Caribbean has mobilized its partners to respond to the call for relief for people affected by Hurricane Melissa. CIBC Caribbean, through its ComTrust Foundation and in association with the CIBC Foundation, has committed $79.5 million towards Hurricane Melissa relief efforts. It's supporting various projects, ranging from assisting employees in Jamaica affected by Melissa, donating immediate relief supplies through Food for the Poor, and funding the deployment of a field hospital unit by the Barbados Defense Force. Lawmen assigned to the Specialized Operations Branch seized 25 12-gauge shotgun cartridges during an operation on Wellington Street, Dunkirk, Kingston 16 on Tuesday. Reports indicate that about 3:35 p.m., lawmen were patrolling the area when a group of men were seen acting in a manner that aroused their suspicion. Upon seeing the police team, the men ran in different directions, escaping in the area. One of the men was seen throwing an item in a garbage pile. A search was conducted and the ammunition was found hidden in a bag. No arrest was made in relation to the seizure. And that's it for Across Jamaica for this Wednesday morning.
Them say it's a thrill, but speeding can cost up to $20,000 in a fine, or even your life. Observe the speed limit.
If you no want catch Radam, drive good on TransJam. A message from TransJam Highways.
This Friday, November 21, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., the nationwide team makes its first stop in Westmoreland on our Rebuilding Jamaica Post-Melissa Relief OB series. And we're broadcasting live from two locations, Maud McLeod High School in Darlaston and Marzuka Garage in Savannah Lamar. So we're calling all residents of Darlaston and surrounding communities, Cottage, Venture Hall, Betheltown, Caledonia, Leamington, and everyone in Savannah Lamar. Come out and join us. We'll be bringing care packages and more, while our partners, the National Health Fund, will offer free screenings. Come share your stories, talk with our hosts, and let Jamaica hear how you and your families are rebuilding after Hurricane Melissa. Nationwide 90 FM, helping to rebuild Jamaica one community at a time. This outreach is made possible by NHF, Marzuka Garage, NSWMA, and the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
Fit Nation is brought to you by Express Fitness 24/7. Your goal is our mission.
You want a hot body? You want a Bugatti? You want a Maserati? You better work. You want a Lamborghini? Sip martinis, look hot in a bikini. You better work. You wanna live fancy, live in a big mansion, party in France. You better work. You better work. You better work. You better work. Now get to work. Now get to work. Ring it on, ring it loud. Don't stop now, just be the champion. Work it hard like it's your profession. Watch out now, 'cause here it comes. Here comes the smash up. Here comes the mash up. Here comes the big beat to blast ya. No time to quit now. Just time to get it now. Pick up what I'm putting down. Pick up what I'm putting down. You want a hot body? You want a Bugatti? You want a Maserati? You better work. You want a Lamborghini? Sip martinis, look hot in a bikini. You better work. You wanna live fancy, live in a big mansion, party in France. You better work. You better work. You better work. You better work. Now get to work.
That time of a Wednesday morning, it's time for Fit Nation. In Fit Nation this morning, we're focusing on the Run for Rights 5K Run Walk. The second staging of the Run for Rights 5K will be held at the Police Officers Club on Sunday, November 20. The event is organized by Jamaicans for Justice, JFJ, to raise awareness and funds for various human rights causes in Jamaica. To talk to us more about the event this morning, Community Engagement and Outreach Officer at JFJ, Kimberly Wilby, and Policy Research and Advocacy Manager at JFJ, Jade Williams. Both of you, good morning.
Good morning, Tana.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Nationwide this morning in the Fit Nation segment. First of all, if you could, Kimberly, give us some more information about the event coming up this Sunday.
Okay, so the event is actually happening on Sunday, November 30.
Right, November 30, not 20.
Yes, November 30, yes.
Yes, November 20 is tomorrow.
Yes, it's tomorrow. All right, and of course, we are encouraging persons to register, as you would have mentioned earlier. It is for a worthy cause. Here at the JFJ, we are, of course, we are a non-partisan entity. And we are also, when you look at the fact that we are I won't really say charitable, but we're not a government organization, and as such, we really rely on grants and for persons to contribute to the cause. And so, Run for Rights is one of our major initiatives that we will use to raise much-needed funds to, provide legal support and to overall provide support in terms of the Hurricane Melissa recovery efforts. We had to pivot, of course, with the passage of Hurricane Melissa. Mm-hmm. And so we encourage persons, to join us, join the movement. We ask persons what moves you. Is it climate justice? Is it gender-based violence? Is it human rights? So forth. And so we encourage everyone to register. It's $2,500. You can get a shirt for $1,000, $3,500 when you think about it. It's less than a KFC bucket meal, and you come out, you get fit, and you advocate.
And Jade, to what Kimberly was just mentioning about the thematic areas, the child rights, climate justice, support victims of gender-based violence and domestic violence. Talk to us about why JFJ has chosen to do the event this way.
Well, when we said we were going to do a kind of fundraising event, we wanted to ensure that our messaging, our thematic areas were very much present because that is the core of our work. So we said, instead of doing a typical 5K run where persons wouldn't be able to marry the event to what JFJ does, we wanted to ensure it was well themed to the thematic areas in which we work. And so, as you know, Tana, we work in broad human rights. Of course, we do child rights. We support victims of gender-based violence. And we also support those persons who have climate justice needs. And climate justice would be a big issue right now as we would have just gone through a major hurricane. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to theme the run in a way that persons could also feel as though when they participated, they were supporting some of these human rights causes, which is essentially what you're doing. But we wanted to make that a little bit more tangible for persons.
So is it that if I choose a particular theme, am I wearing a T-shirt or am I in a different group of people at the event?
Well, once it is that you purchase a T-shirt, you are able to choose the thematic area in which you get your shirt. So we have some really well done race shirts. So the human rights shirt is blue. The child rights shirt is orange, I think. Gender-based violence is purple, and we have climate justice that is green. So we have some lovely shirts there on our Instagram page if you want to see what the shirts would look like before you make that purchase. And you know that you can go to my.raceresult.com//355-144 in order to register and to choose that shirt.
Mm-hmm. And Kimberly, this is the second staging of the Run for Rights 5K. How was the previous one?
Okay, so the previous one, it was very much in terms of support. It got a lot of support. It was the first, so it is steadily a work in progress. We had a lot of momentum, and then of course, Hurricane Melissa came around, and we are just encouraging persons now to, still keep in mind, still bear in mind all of these rights, human rights, child rights, gender-based violence, all of these things. Yes, we might have the passage of a Category 5 hurricane, but human rights and the knowledge of same is still of importance. So we are steadily getting a lot of support. Tana, I would like to just take a moment just to recognize some of our partners, because this race, this 5K would not have been possible without our partners, and we're actually on the phone right now with one of our partners. We're not used to, but of course, Nationwide News Network. We'd love to thank you for continuing to show support to the Jamaicans for Justice. We'd like to acknowledge National Lee's Food Fair, Royal Trophies, GJAM Hotel, Kingston High Ridge, Jamaica Power Company, Starlight Productions, Elco, with Cinco with their 2 brands, Water and Power Aid, and the National Housing Trust. Yes, the event is happening on November 30, but we hope that persons who are listening, they will be encouraged to not just register to participate, but if there are any corporate partners listening, we encourage you to join us. This is for a worthy cause. I'd also like to take this moment just to remind persons that, with this run, we don't have a major budget, but we rely on the support of volunteers. And so if persons are interested in volunteering to assist, they can always contact the office, and they will be instructed as such. And they can also go on our Instagram page and get the information on how to volunteer to be a part of the Run for Rights 5K walk run on November 30th. So, guys, it is exciting, Tana. I hope that you will be there front and center.
Yes.
And I hope to see all the members of the Nationwide team. It's all hands on deck. Jamaica, what moves you?
And Kimberly, what's the cutoff point for those who are interested in participating?
Okay, so the cutoff point for us, we will take persons up to the 27th at this point in time. Because as I would have said before, we had a momentum. Hurricane Melissa came around, and, persons, they had to pivot in terms of their priorities. Know that things are, steadily, I won't say it has gone back to 100% normalcy, but know that persons are starting to find their rhythm. We encourage persons that, don't believe that it's because... don't believe that, since the event is happening on the 30th, the time is cut off. You have up to the 27th. So get your family, get your friends. Let's just, encourage them to register for a team. Get your shirt. It's a keepsake. And you will be a lifelong JFJ ambassador. Imagine after the race would have ended and you're walking around in your colorful shirt. When persons ask you questions, you can tell them about the JFJ and tell them about the work that Jamaica for Justice, the work that we do.
And Jade, remind us of where persons can register and the cost.
Yes, Tana. So you can register at my.raceresult.com/355-144. So my.raceresult.com/355-144. 355-144. The cost is $2,500 per person, but if you're getting that shirt, it's an extra $1,000 for $3,500. And just to say, part proceeds of the run, as we've been speaking about Hurricane Melissa, will go towards Hurricane Melissa relief. We are also collecting in-kind donations. If you cannot participate in the run, so you can come by JFJ's office, you can drop off supplies, or you can make donations directly to our bank account, where we will ensure that those funds go to Hurricane Melissa relief efforts. So that information in detail is on our Instagram pages as well.
So that's the Run for Rights 5K, the JFJ's Run for Rights 5K, coming up on Sunday, November 30, will be held at the Police Officers Club. Any other information, Jade, about what participants can expect on the day?
Well, you know that we'll definitely have a few performances. We're going to have some prizes. We're going to have some surprises. I will be running on the day as well on behalf of JFJ. But it's going to be a fun day. We'll have a whole program that starts around 6 a.m. We'll have warm-up in the morning, and we'll have some excitement. So besides the running, there'll be a little bit of fun on the day as well.
Policy Research and Advocacy Manager at JFJ, Jade Williams, and Kimberly Wilby, Community and Engagement Outreach Officer, Community Engagement and Outreach Officer at JFJ as well. Ladies, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you for having us, Tana.
All right, going to take a break here and come back with more.
You wanna You want a hot body? You want a Bugatti? You want a Maserati? You better work.
Fit Nation was brought to you by Express Fitness 24/7. Your goal is our mission.
Are you living with HIV? It's time to access treatment, get back to business, and begin your path to a brighter, healthier future. The time brought to you by Jamaica AIDS Support for Life is
8:20.
Fontana Pharmacy has a wide variety of items from pharmaceuticals, household, cosmetics, toys, and more. The temperature by Fontana Pharmacy, it's all good inside, is
27 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, also 27 out west in Montego Bay, and in Mandeville, 21 degrees Celsius.
This is an important announcement for AutoSmart customers in Western Jamaica regarding Hurricane Melissa claims. Our Montego Bay office at Unit 8, Summit Business Center, Fairview, will be open from Saturday, the 15th of November from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and throughout the week from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. to guide you through every step of the claims process. For faster service, submit your claims online at autosmartja.com or download the catastrophe form, complete and email it with a detailed report to Hurricane Claims at autosmartja.com. AutoSmart is here to help Jamaica rise again. That was an important announcement for AutoSmart customers in Western Jamaica regarding Hurricane Melissa claims.
This Friday, November 21 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., the nationwide team makes its first stop in Westmoreland on our Rebuilding Jamaica Post-Melissa Relief OB series. And we're broadcasting live from two locations, Maud McLeod High School in Darlaston and Marzuka Garage in Savannah Lamar. So we're calling all residents of Darlaston and surrounding communities, Cottage, Venture Hall, Betheltown, Caledonia, Leamington, and everyone in Savannah Lamar. Come out and join us. We'll be bringing care packages and more, while our partners, the National Health Fund, will offer free screenings. Come share your stories, talk with our hosts, and let Jamaica hear how you and your families are rebuilding after Hurricane Melissa. Nationwide 90 FM, helping to rebuild Jamaica one community at a time. This outreach is made possible by NHF, Marzuka Garage, NSWMA, and the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
8:23. Thank you so much for staying with us. Well, we turn our eyes to the Overseas Examination Commission. They, in partnership with the National Parent Teachers Association of Jamaica, they are hosting a CSEC and a CAPE online marathon. This is 2 days of intense review with excellent teachers covering key subjects to be had on the 16th and 17th of December. The organization will also be hosting a mental health and financial wellness webinar on the 25th of November at 6 p.m. for essential life skills and support. Well, to tell us more, we're joined by the Director of Marketing and Client Relations at the Overseas Examinations Commission, Christelle Daly Thompson. Did I get your first name right?
It's actually Crystal. I often
Crystal.
say Crystal as in whistle.
Crystal as in whistle. Okay. So sorry about that, Crystal. Well, first of all, tell me, very interested to find out about the partnership you have with the National Parent Teachers Association to host the CSEC and the CAPE online marathon.
Well, as you know, the OEC works well with schools right across the board. Of course, we are the examination hub of Jamaica. We are the ones who set the standards for assessment at the high school level, and we also do international exams in terms of administration. So, of course, the children, if they're going to be our focus, they're one of our most significant stakeholders. And so the Parent Teachers Association actually reached out to us and said, they needed to do something that is very significant to support the students who have been displaced. And, of course, they will be preparing for their end-of-term exams and looking ahead also for safety come next year, May, June. So we know what COVID caused for many of the nation's children. And so we said, this might just be a very good initiative to help to support them and stabilize them, because we want to ensure that we are still churning out a nation of high achievers and those who can continue to grow and develop themselves professionally.
What subject areas will be covered by the marathon?
All right, just a few that I can think of the top of my head. Of course, math and English is the foundational subjects, and all other disciplines are built on that. So, of course, the sciences as well. We want to ensure that we're supporting all our students who have an interest in careers in STEM and so on. So the science subjects will be looked at. I'm thinking also economics, yes. We'll be looking at that and a few others. So presently we are trying to galvanize a few of the teachers who are, really good in these subject areas to have them scheduled on the respective days. So one day, 16th, we'll look at CSEC subject, and then on the 17th, we'll be looking at the CAPE subject.
And do you plan to do this remotely or in person?
It will be remote. So the teachers, they'll be coming in to stream from one area. So we will be streaming online on our social media platforms. That's on our YouTube channel or Facebook page, and we'll be doing our Instagram lives and TikTok as well. So all our platforms, except for Twitter and LinkedIn, will be streaming live so that everyone can have access anywhere.
And you're having a mental health and financial wellness webinar as well on the 25th of November. What's the rationale behind that?
Yes, the rationale behind that is that it's very important for us to support the students' mental health. I mean, we in Kingston, we are the fortunate ones, but it will affect us eventually, what has happened with the disaster. And even before Hurricane Melissa, mental health has been a thing, a topic of great discussion. And so we understand that it's important that to achieve and to do well, your mental state is important to, facilitate that. So we saw that as very important. And also to financial management and wellness. With all the disruptions caused by Hurricane Melissa, we're going to see some changes in our economy. And so we want to kind of give students, even parents, the necessary nuggets to support themselves as we're living in a changed environment, all because of what Melissa has done.
Understand, and that also will be, given that it's a webinar, it will also be online, yes? But tell me, Crystal, the schedule as it relates to CSEC and Cape, May, June, thereabout for 2026, are there any discussions as it relates to what would be done for the students in Jamaica who are affected by Melissa?
All right. Well, as it is, the Overseas Examinations Commission is the administrator for the exam. I believe the examining body, CXC, will be providing further details where that is concerned. What we can speak to as the local registrar is an extension of the date for registration in consideration of the disruption caused. So we are offering our private candidates the opportunity to register up to the 9th of December. Before it was the 25th of November. We have extended that to the 9th of December. And I believe the examining body, CXC, has extended it even further. That date has not yet been fully advised, so that I could speak confidently on it. But what I know is that it has been extended from the time that that was initially communicated to the public around high school.
Okay. And as regards to students recovering that lost academic time, wellness, the lost academic time, trying to find the space to put themselves in a position to do exams and all of that. Is the commission, having discussions with regards to that and what they will do further, even beyond the wellness seminar on the 25th of November, as to what they will do?
All right. What has happened to the nation and many of the schools in the western part of the island and even in St. Elizabeth and so on, it's going to be a long-term effort. So this is the first step that we're taking with the webinar and with the mental health and financial wellness session. But we have seen other agencies such as Trend and so on, out of the Ministry of Education, taking initiatives to do outreach and relief efforts. And we'll be, of course, aligning ourselves with those initiatives. We have worked with Trend before, and we will continue to do so, as we are an agency under the Ministry of Education as well. So we have plans in the medium to long term to align ourselves with the restoration efforts of many of these schools that have been affected. But for now, this is the first step that we're taking in response.
Very well. And any final word as it relates to what you would suggest, as the most important action item for students and parents in relation to, getting ready for CSEC and Cape and what they can do on their end to get ready in time?
All right. Firstly, for all private candidates, even if you're in high school and you want to do an additional subject, you can register via the OEC website. We have a online platform called OEC Online. You can register there for your CXC and your GCE subjects. All right? So visit the website and make your payment before December 9th. Also, too, you can visit any of our locations and complete an application form if you are not comfortable or too tech-savvy with registering online. You can come in and do so face-to-face, paying via only debit or credit card. You should make note of the webinar dates, which are December 16th and 17th. And next week, we'll be having the mental health and financial wellness webinar on the 25th of November. So you need to mark those dates and visit our website for more information.
Thank you so much, Crystal, for joining us and for giving us that information.
Yes, thank you so much for having me this morning.
That's Crystal Daly Thompson. She's the Director of Marketing and Client Relations at the Overseas Examinations Commission, the people that administer your CSEC and Cape exams across the Caribbean. They are having a mental health and financial wellness webinar on November 25 at 6 p.m. And they're also having a 2-day intense review with excellent teachers covering key subjects from science to technology and all of that, December 16 and 17. What we're hearing is that the CSEC will be on one day, the CAPE will be on one day, and of course you'll be able to get sight of that marathon on their social media pages and of course on their YouTube, where they'll be streaming from. Very good initiative from the Overseas Examinations Commission.
Grace is giving shoppers discounts on over 20 of your favorite Grace products when you cash out at participating supermarkets. The time by Grace could move is
8:34.
Me grew up as my granny save her money under her mattress.
But at an all-time something, that's where I save my money in the bank. And become I want to buy a little house, but also save in a building society. We have to be smart with how we save our money.
So what if the bank crash?
Well, that's where JDIC comes in. Make I tell you something. With the JDIC Deposit Insurance Scheme, once you save your money in a commercial bank, merchant bank, or building society, your deposit is covered up to a maximum of $1.2 million per depositor per financial institution if the institution fails. All the information that you need is available at jdic.org, and you can follow their social media platform for more information.
JDIC, protecting deposits for you and me.
Every school is free of unhealthy, ultra-processed products. You know, those high in salt, fats, and sugar. If only that weren't a dream. The reality is that many children have an unhealthy diet at school, and 23% of them are overweight or obese. This can lead to hypertension, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. Let's protect our children's right to health with a policy for schools that prevents unhealthy food marketing and ensures access to nutritious foods. The time is now. Let's implement the National School Nutrition Policy. A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and partners.
This Friday, November 21 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., the nationwide team makes its first stop in Westmoreland on our Rebuilding Jamaica Post-Melissa Relief OB series. And we're broadcasting live from 2 locations, Maud McLeod High School in Darlaston and Marzuka Garage in Savannah Lamar. So we're calling all residents of Darlaston and surrounding communities, Cottage, Venture Hall, Betheltown, Caledonia, Leamington, and everyone in Savannah Lamar. Come out and join us. We'll be bringing care packages and more, while our partners, the National Health Fund, will offer free screenings. Come share your stories, talk with our hosts, and let Jamaica hear how you and your families are rebuilding after Hurricane Melissa. Nationwide 90 FM, helping to rebuild Jamaica one community at a time. This outreach is made possible by NHF, Marzuka Garage, NSWMA, and the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
It's 8:37, and of course we're taking your calls. The numbers are 876-630-937-124. That's 876-630-937-124 and 618-6730. Those are your numbers. 630-937-124 and 618-6730. Of course, you're taking some calls. You have a bit of a time. Give us a call now and tell us.
Let us know.
Tell us how you're feeling. Tell us what you're thinking. You know. By the way, perfect opportunity. Tana actually brought it to my attention this morning. It's International Men's Day.
Yes.
You know. Wondering what?
Jermaine, this is your opportunity. This is your opportunity to find music. Yeah, man. It is International Men's Day. So happy International Men's Day. You guys do so much for us ladies, you know, real MVPs out here. Yeah, from opening our doors, for the men here at Nationwide who cut my fruit. Yeah, carry my bags, help me cross the street. No, you guys are awesome. No, man, you guys are awesome. You know, you help me in so many ways, and I'm really, really grateful every day. Yeah, man. So big up the men here at Nationwide. All the men who listen to Nationwide 90 FM as well. Happy International Men's Day. Everybody out there, the gents, we appreciate you. I see Annie Smith saying big up all the men on International Men's Day. And we have a caller.
Yes.
Marlon.
Good morning, Marlon.
Good morning. To be honest with you, as a Jamaican, I'm very disappointed about that game last night.
You were there, Marlon, or you watched from home?
I watched it, but, you know, I've been telling people a long while that our midfield is very, very poor. Very, very poor. And, you know, Curacao is a team that you cannot take lightly, because a lot of the people from Curacao, those that country, they play a lot of football. In Holland, they go to school, they play in Europe. And I believe that our coach took them lightly from the first game. We should have won that game against Trinidad. They throw it away. And they were trying to, you know, and there was no urgency in the game. There was no urgency. And, you know, I'm very disappointed as a sports fan. But I hope in the playoffs they can, you know, we can get a good coach and we can bounce back.
Yeah, and as to the discussion we had earlier, Marlon, what are your thoughts? Get a coach from outside, find somebody here in Jamaica to carry the team to March next year.
I think we have good coach in Jamaica. But I noticed from a very long time that our president and those guys, they don't like to pay our coaches good money. And they always believe that everything that comes from overseas is better than what you have at home. But there's this young man by the name of Coley.
Miguel Coley.
I think Coley will do a good job. And there's a couple more guys that I think we can choose from.
Okay.
All right, Marlon. Well, thank you so much for calling and giving us your reaction.
Who's next?
Okay, thank you, Father.
Good morning, Audley. Hello, Audley.
You know how disappointed I am about the match last night. Then we win and we lose. So it is unfortunate that we will not win, because I was really want to revive 1998, but it never happened. Anyway, I called you because we have something. I'm from the Lauriston Citizens Association.
The where?
From the Lauriston Citizens Association.
Lauriston. Okay.
Right.
Nice.
And we have some packages we want to deliver to your office for your distribution on
Friday.
Friday, right.
Yes.
So I just wanted to know, where should I take it to?
Right here to Nationwide, 14 Ocean Boulevard, the Digicel building.
I know because I know Ocean because my office is once on the other side, eat. But where do I bring it to? The car park or what?
No, man, take it inside to the lobby.
A lot of boxes, you know, man.
Yes, man, we'll accommodate it.
All right.
So bring them down to us and just give or stay on the line, Audley, so that Michelle can give you our office number, so that when you're here, you can call us.
I didn't have it. That was the problem. I was trying to call all the other numbers. They are previous numbers.
Yes, so we changed some of our numbers. So stay on the line, or producer Michelle will give you our office number, so you can call us and tell us when you're downstairs.
All right, sure.
All right, thanks, Audley.
Really appreciate
it.
No problem.
All right, good. Yeah.
Any more callers? I see SMD 1293 saying it's never the players' fault. Yeah, there's a little blame for coach, players, in this one.
There's enough blame to pass around this time around. Good morning, William.
Morning, Tanya.
Morning to you.
My explain something to me side, right? You people can see, I cannot see. I was listening to the match, and in the last day when I hear everybody shout out for a penalty, what did happen really there?
So let me tell you what happened, sir. 90 minutes in the match. We had 5 minutes of added time.
Yeah.
And Dujon Richards gets a ball on the right wing there. He's in front of a defender, takes on the defender one-on-one. and makes the run for it down the wing. You follow me?
Yeah, man.
Make the run down the wing. And as soon as he makes that run down the wing to try and beat the defender from behind puts his right leg around and pushes off the ball off DeJohn's feet. DeJohn falls in the box and the ref points to the penalty spot immediately. However, when you watch the replay, and after a while the ref went to VAR, when you watch the replay and you slow it down, you recognize that the defender, that number 11 I think it was for Curacao, he actually tipped off the ball with his toe. He tore off the ball off DeJohn foot. So it justifiably was not a penalty.
Oh, he never touch him none at all.
Him touch him, but him tore the ball first.
Okay.
Ball first. Him get the ball. Tore the ball first. With a tackle like that, you don't usually give a penalty for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it looked like a foul, and to the naked eye in the stadium, we were sure it was a penalty. But having done the rewatch now on the phone, I recognize that
him move off the ball
him
before
touch
him
off the
touch
ball.
him.
Yeah.
The one quick other point. As the gentleman talk about the coach and referee and so in this country, but just a quick thing on cricket. I noticed Kohli, I think our Kohli name, was the coach for West Indies. I remember this guy Powell was the captain for the one day, 2020. And they moved the team from 9th position to 3. And then we moved the captain, then take away the coach from him. I see the team now, it's a struggle worse. Then give some everything now. And I don't see no better solution.
Oh, well, William, I don't know about the cricket part,
No, let me explain to you, because I kind of understand the cricket more than the football itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know about cricket is Cliff always a hold him head about West Indies cricket.
Yeah,
that's all I know.
Paul take the team from number 9 to number 3 rating.
In the world.
With Paul, right. And then but drop him, move him from the captain and move Kohli, who was the coach.
Well,
I think this time.
That Kohli is a different Kohli, The Kohli that the previous caller was
talking about.
No,
the Kohli not for cricket, no.
Okay. Right. I just wanted to be sure. Okay.
Yeah, man.
But William, I really want to talk about West Indies cricket, because them not giving a glimmer of hope either.
Exactly. That's what I say now. The whole time people say jump out of frying pan and jump in a fire.
I think we should pivot. Give all of the money and everything to the Sunshine Girls and the Reggae Girls.
Yeah, because them really, they're all up for them side.
Yeah, man. Them are going good. But happy International Men's Day to you, William. Hope you have a good one here.
Yeah, man. Take it easy.
All right. Good. You have time for one more caller? No? All right.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
13 minutes to 9 o'clock.
The Birthday Club is brought to you by Burger King.
Holla me, holla yo, holla way. Follow me and holla for the new cheesy jalapeno whopper from BK. Hotta offer we say, new cheesy jalapeno whopper make we talk in a gypsy. Well a pot, me I forget the new BK cheesy jalapeno whopper. Whole heap of spicy jalapenos and creamy cheese sauce. Get the combo with fries and drinks for $1,350. Holla me, holla yo, holla way. Follow me and holla for the new cheesy jalapeno whopper from BK. It's the new BK cheesy jalapeno whopper from Burger King.
He is my king, he is my one. Yes, he's my father, yes, he's my son. I can talk to him, cause he understands everything I go through and everything I am. He's my support system, I can't live without him. The best thing since sliced bread is his kiss, his hugs, his lips, his touch. And I just want the whole world to know about my black brother. I love you and I'll never try to hurt you. I want you to know that I'm here for you forever true. Cause you're my black brother, strong brother, and there is no one above you. I misunderstood. Some say that he's up to no good around the neighborhood. Well, for your information, a lot of my brothers got education. Now check it. You got your Wall Street brother, your blue collar brother, you're down for whatever, chilling on the corner brother, your talented brother, and to every one of y'all behind bars, you know that Angie loves you. But my black brother, I love you. I'll never try to hurt you. No. I want you to know that I'm here for you forever, true. 'Cause you're my black brother, strong brother. There is no one above you.
That time of the morning when we tell some very special people happy birthday. Happy birthday greetings going out to Jamie Williams, whose special day is today. Happy birthday, Jamie Williams. We wish you good health as you continue to be such a blessing to many, from your mom, Evan, and the RECA team members. Happy birthday. Happy birthday as well to our friends on Facebook. Damian Crisscross Broomfield, Jackie Jade, Lisa Williams, happy birthday. Polly Brown, Tamika Drizzy, Christina Powell Williams, Rodo James, Andrew Badalu, happy birthday. Wishing for you guys a lovely one. Happy birthday also going out to...
Happy birthday greetings going to Crystal. Greetings coming from your mom, Marva, your sis Kim, and Savi. They say they love you loads. Happy birthday to you, Crystal.
The way that he looks at me when he holds my hand, he wants everyone to know I'm his woman and he is my man. We can talk about anything, he's got nothing to hide. He's not afraid of his feelings, he's not a slave to his pride. He's giving me love so steady, he touches my heart, now I'm ready. He touches my soul and my spirit. He's giving me love so steady, so steady. Ooh, steady love.
Loxley G sending happy born day to the top barber in Rosedale, Jesse from Dunkirk. Good morning to you, Jesse. It's your birthday. Happy birthday to you from Loxley G. Herman Hyatt sending happy birthday greetings to friend Dorothy Page of Wood Park, St. Mary. Happy birthday to you, Dorothy Page in Wood Park, St. Mary. From your friend Herman Hyatt saying, may God continue to bless you tremendously.
Now I'm ready. He touches my soul and my spirit. He's giving me love so steady, so steady. He puts every other man I've ever known to shame. I just wanna be with him, talk to him, sleep near him, walk with him, be with him. I wanna be lovers and friends and mother his children, make breakfast on Sunday and fight and then make up again. 'Cause if life's gonna be crazy anyway, I wanna do it with him. Steady love. Hey.
to lean on. Please swallow your pride if I have failed.
Happy birthday to Angel Scott. Those greetings coming from your father, Donovan Scott. He says he loves you. Have an amazing week. So happy birthday to you, Angel Scott. Those greetings coming from your father, Donovan.
You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean.
The Birthday Club was brought to you by Burger King.
Holla me, holla yo, holla way, follow me and holla for the new cheesy jalapeno whopper from BK. Hata afa we say new cheesy jalapeno whopper make we talk in a gypsy. Well a pot, me I forget the new BK cheesy jalapeno whopper. Whole heap of spicy jalapenos and creamy cheese sauce. Get the combo with fries and drinks for $1,350. Holla me, holla yo, holla way, follow me and holla for the new cheesy jalapeno whopper from BK. It's the new BK cheesy jalapeno whopper from Burger King.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
Some final birthdays here. Herman Hyde's also sending happy, well, not a birthday, but happy International Men's Day greetings to brothers Noel, Danny, and Prince, saying enjoy your day. And happy birthday going out to Mikhail Johnson. Happy birthday to you. Wishing for you a great one. So, if you're celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday to you. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary to you. And to all the men out there, again, happy International Men's Day.
And I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
And that's about it for the show. Thank you so much for tuning in to Nationwide this morning, NTM. Thanks so much to our super producer, Michelle McCrae Smith, our super editor, Kimon Thompson, and our technical operator and the musical maestro, Jermaine King. Just before we go, for those of you asking for Nationwide's office number so that you can arrange to drop off items, the number 618-6731, 618-6731. And for the person in the chat who was asking if you can drop off clothes, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Bring them here to our office at the Digicel Building, 14 Ocean Boulevard. And Carlene R4R, happy birthday greetings going out to your brother, Anthony Heslop, wishing all the best on his special day. Happy birthday to you, Anthony, coming from Carlene, your sister. I'm Tana.
I'm Saeed.
Good morning.
You've just heard Nationwide this morning on Nationwide 90 FM.
When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you and the world's all right with me.
fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.